All right, so you guys got first of all, everyone, welcome to Traveler. You guys got the recap that I sent out, and basically that lines out essentially what happened last time. You guys were able to sort of at least a big group of you were able to sort of regroup in that bar that Gawker was staying in. The rest of you, Dr. Wagner, you were able to do some self-repair on not only your physical portions, but some of your cybernetic portions. Captain Gray, you are still injured, including some of your cybernetic elements. I don't recall, at least I think you are. I don't recall if you had actually had a moment to try and repair yourself. If so, then
I did.
Did you?
I did,
okay.
and yeah, we're done with the repairs, but I was still healing.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and take away the blood stain. Let's go ahead and do that on your pillow. There we go. So now you're feeling much better. But so Wagner, Dr. Wagner and Captain Gray, you guys are both back at the safe house, whereas Bishop, Weber, Mallory, and Gawker are all at the little dive bar that's near Space Dock, where the Gin and Tonic is sort of under interdiction there. The last time we talked, as I put in the recap, I think you guys were thinking about going to maybe Smitchy's house. I know that Bishop had checked out and saw that there was a fair amount of data traffic that was going in and out of Smitchy's. You guys know the Bishop was able to sort of suss out the location. But you guys were going back and forth about whether it would be even valuable to go and see this guy and maybe beat a confession out of him, or maybe get some more information. We don't know. There's a bit of a clock running down on you guys. You guys have the idea. Sergey has said, look, this is your third day in my safe house, but coming up on halfway through that day. The longer you stay here, the more likely it is that Tyla or Constab is going to get a handle on where you guys are. And he goes, look, if they find out where you are, or somebody talks, or somebody squeals for money, I can't get in the way of that. He goes, I'm already neck deep in this thing. I've done everything I can. If they find you, I can't help you. But they've been bringing medicine and computers and stuff like that to you guys since Sergey has been making sure that you guys are fed and watered and that you have news. But beyond that, he's like, look, it can't last forever. He goes, I give you guys another 24 to 36 hours. And that was 12 hours ago. So something's got to happen. So at this point, we have the party is split. 2 guys at Sergey's, 4 guys at this bar figuring out what they're going to do next. The ship is guarded, clamped, and Jin has software interrupts in place where he can't help, which Bishop says he can fix up. Mallory, you're thinking maybe this guy Smitchy, who everybody says basically was the guy who got your friend killed.
Right.
I don't know. Spoons at the ready is what I'm saying. But
now, do I haven't met Keeve Smitchy,
No.
correct?
Correct.
No.
And
Never
do I
met.
know where Keeve Smitchy lives?
No, well, kind of by proxy you do. Bishop last time was able to log into the computer system, and he was able to find Keith Smitchy's apartment, essentially, with the location of it. And he was also able to piggyback a little bit on the data traffic that's coming in and out of that location.
Right.
And what Bishop was able to find out was that there's a fair amount of data traffic that's going in and out of Smitchy's house, which means that whatever Tyla is holding him for, they're probably not restricting his access to data, or they're monitoring it. Bishop, you couldn't determine if his data traffic was being monitored. Now, Sergey had provided you guys with the text of a series of messages that had come in and out of Smitchy's terminal in his house. So if Sergey knows about it and Tyler's monitoring them, you can bet that they know about it. Smitchy was not being super circumspect about that. I mean, sort of half-ass coding and stuff like that. We can look at that message if you guys want to look at it. But Bishop was reluctant to actually break into that data feed because he was like, look, this is a Tyler officer who, while under arrest and house arrest, is still nominally a Tyler officer. He's still nominally head of office at Cymbeline Station because he hasn't been tried yet for whatever crimes he may have committed. Now, you guys do know that he was he was interrogated for about 16 hours and then put under house arrest. So your guess is that they're keeping him on ice until they can put him on a ship to Sirius or Prometheus system, where there are much larger Tyler offices and they can adjudicate whatever they think he's done and assess that. But it makes sense kind of for Tyler to do it this way because he's not guilty of any crimes yet until he's been sort of magistrated. So they're keeping him on ice. They're probably gonna bust him out of here on the next Tyler shuttle that heads for Prometheus or Sirius.
Okay, got it. I don't want to split the party or cause an unnecessary diversion. I would like to kind of just walk by his house just as a casual passerby, if I could, but I also don't want to create an unnecessary distraction from the mission to liberate our ship.
Well, I think I don't remember what part you were with us last time on, but I believe that's the plan, to always go to Spitchy's house, put a little hurt on him, and maybe squeeze some more information out of the rat. However, you might be super useful because he dropped the dime to what's her face, right, the lady that will not be looking too favorably at Dr. Wagner and the rest
Chimera.
of us. Chimera. So,
Well,
but she doesn't know your face.
Right.
So
now wait a second. He did not talk directly to Chimera. Let me go ahead and do this real quick.
Chimera?
Yeah, you're not sure who he's talking to.
Okay, you're right.
End target is encrypted.
Little lady mad at your boy is what I remember. Right? Yeah.
He's talking about Chimera, and he's talking about who you think is Kick Bandiers, who's Big Grizz, but he's talking to someone else, someone at Greenprint.
Right. But he's saying little baby mad at your boys. That's who I was. Chimera is on her way. She's en route to Cymbeline.
Yeah, she says, Big Grizz wants this ASAP. Little lady is mad your boys got Doyle. Tread lightly around that one. She says Wagner's next on the list. She's en route to Cymbeline. Don't let G&T, which you guys interpret as Gin Tonic, leave Cymbeline. Don't get in her way.
So,
but this is from Greenprint.
We might be able to describe what she looks like, or what we last thought she looked like, so that Eric, I'm sorry, what's Marlon?
Well,
Marlo, what's his name?
Mallory,
sorry. That Mallory could take a look, keep an eye out for her, and she wouldn't look twice at him.
correct. Yeah, right.
This is the message that Dr. Wagner got from whom he suspects is Chimera, and it had a partial vid cap on it. So you're thinking that this may actually be a photograph of her face.
That's very Blair Witch there, Les.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just an innocent game master. I don't make these.
It's
Dr.
not
Wagner's
like I
used to
find these
getting
on the
fan
internet.
mail and eager groupies.
Wagner always got
Lying
fan mail
about
from a
what he
certain group of
says.
people.
Okay, well,
Fan mail, death threats, all the same.
Yeah, well,
No bad press.
you say potato, I say
So
potato.
bad.
I say
Oh,
tiger
so-
penis. Your connection to the server has been interrupted. What happened? Are you okay?
I don't know why it's being interrupted. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yes.
Are you
All right, we'll
really
just-
less, or have you been replaced by?
It was
an
roll
AM?
20.
I'm really Chimera. Roll for initiative. No, it's roll 20. I don't know why it's doing this. So let's just ignore that for a second. Because it seems to be working on this side.
It's
so,
working. Yeah.
so we'll just
Seems to work.
pretend that we don't see that.
It seems like so. It seems like our colleague but Bishop Hawk is able to handle the gravity clamps, and he can unhobble Jen from the software interrupts. But
Well-
go ahead.
No, Chuck, you want to address that?
I think I have a way to get security to leave, which will allow us to try to get into the ship. Once on the ship, I'm pretty confident that I can free Jin. And then from there, with Jin's assistance, come up with a way to hack in and remove the clamps, either directly or send in a fake message to the people who operate that stuff to say that the people have been captured. You can release the clamps one way or another. I think I can get through that.
Copy that. Cool.
The idea of, and this is something that I would have told you last week, the idea of going at this guy's house or this guy's apartment, there's a lot of traffic, which means most likely, in my opinion, there's a lot of people monitoring that traffic because this guy's already on the hook for some potential wrongdoing. So we know they're watching him physically and electronically. So trying to take a run at this guy in his apartment, that's big time.
Okay. Well, they don't know me, right?
No.
Bishop, give me a quick DC 18 intellect check or DC 15 intellect check.
Oh shit, hang on. So an intellect check is what, a D20 plus nothing?
D20 plus, I mean, it depends. You have edge in intellect, I believe.
Okay.
So you can apply that at any time, which will step it down. So if your edge is 1, which it will be since you're like effectively a first level character,
Right.
that'll take that down to a DC 12 check.
Okay. So there
And then
go.
you can apply other elements as well. Oh, well, you don't need to. So 16. Yeah. So you will know that Cymbeline, because you're a Cymbeline native, and so you'll
Mhm.
know that Cymbeline law, when it comes to personal privacy, is quite important. So you will know that while the hallway outside of this guy's apartment will probably have cameras, the reality is that the interior of his home probably will not.
Right.
Even if he's, even under house arrest by Tyla, there's probably not going to be cameras or any sort of notification devices in there. Now they'll maybe like, an emergency call button. I'm falling I can't get up button, or contact things like that. But the likelihood
Right.
is that there's no active monitoring. And the same principle likely applies to a certain extent with his data traffic, but probably not entirely. And from your eyes, if it was just a Cymbeline person, their traffic would be probably unmonitored unless there was a specific court order to do that. Tyla is a different animal, especially a high level Tyla officer, which means his data traffic is probably being at the very least passively monitored for problems, but and since he's under house arrest, it's probably being monitored more so, which is why you were reluctant to sort of cut into that data feed and see what he's looking at.
Right. Because at that point, if I screw up and get noticed, I'm not getting noticed by someone's security software. I'm getting noticed by the people who are monitoring him, which is most likely Tyler.
Correct.
So feds, that's why. Like I said, this guy at this point is under a microscope as far as I can tell. And I don't want to, unless we have to, I don't want to run the risk of finding ourselves under that same microscope.
Right.
Well, you've got no less than 4 fugitives from justice that you're helping. So, I mean, who are potentially at risk for the murder of a Tyla officer.
Hey, these guys just bought me a beer. I don't know who the hell they are.
Hitchhiker.
Yeah, until I go that step where I can't take a step back, I still have plausible deniability.
That's a good point. Plausible deniability is so important in the future.
Once I put boots on Jin, then I'm screwed.
Yeah, suddenly going back to college is probably out.
I'm done with college.
All right, but basically what Bishop would say is with that 16 is he say, look, the likelihood is that there's no cameras inside the guy's apartment, but there will almost certainly will be cameras in the hallways outside.
Got it.
So
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't necessarily need a disguise per se because you won't be recognizable to any of the people that we're running from. But it might be good if anybody else is going to be accompanying you or being somewhere in the neighborhood to have some sort of disguise plan here. I don't think any of us have. I know with these, I'm trying to understand these new skills. I feel like I have some disguise abilities less, but I just don't understand how to utilize them. But we can talk about that later. I'm just
I don't have your sheet up, but I'll punch it up here.
yeah, I gotta punch mine up too.
Here we go. Weber Jix 125.
125, 23.
Here we go. Okay. So yeah, you got skills, deception, cryptography, perception, persuading, and seeing through deception. So deception would include, to a certain extent, disguise.
So I'll use this, I'll get myself a space beret or, and a bushy mustache.
Land shark.
Yeah, or I'm sure there's some Andorian, and is it Andorian antenna, they used to have in the original Star Trek?
Just stick on there.
Yeah, just put on there. Like,
Nice.
oh, he's not Weber Jix. That's clearly an Andorian over there. Andorian.
Candygram.
So I,
Land shark.
Just let Mallory have some backup.
Cymbeline Dominoes. Your pizza's ready.
This is how I see it. Like any only thing we have to do on a station is beat the snot out of this guy for more information if we choose to. I'm not into vengeance. He's just a low-level weasel. But he
Well, he's not a low-level weasel at all. He was head of office here on
right.
Cymbeline.
Well, he's a low-level weasel compared to the guys that we're dealing with. But
Well,
I have a cunning plan.
So, but I would say there's two things we need. We need to get anything we can get out of this guy and see what else is here poking around this bee's nest, and then get the hell off the station. There's nothing else we need here, as far as I know.
Well, I don't really want to go to his house. I mean, once any of us walks into his building, the cameras will get our faces, even if we wear our fake mustache and our space beret. I don't want that to happen yet. What if we can draw him out?
First, Weber Jix is going to turn his back on Mallory and say, Coffin Doyle would have gone with that plan.
Well, and Bishop may have something to say about the cameras too, because you have to remember from last time, Bishop was able to. So one of the last things that Bishop did was he was trying to capture some video of the area surrounding the space dock where the Gin and Tonic is parked,
Right.
for back of the letter word. And he was able to log into the cameras and peel off about 10 minutes of absolutely crystal clear video. Not only that, he was able to get information on the coding on the security bots, which led him to believe that at least some and maybe all of the security bots that are on station right now guarding the Gin and Tonic are Constab security bots rather than Tyler security bots. Now, and Chuck, I don't want to speak for Bishop, but Bishop, I would have to say, has a much looser feeling, a much less feeling of anxiety when it comes to screwing with Constab than he has with screwing with Tyler.
Well, yeah, and it really has nothing to do. He doesn't have any problems with screwing with Tyler, except for that their countermeasures are much more powerful. Constab, I mean, it's a local police department. They've got, some half asleep fat guy. That's their IT executive.
Hey.
So
Hey, yeah.
Boy, it's like the entire game rises up. What'd you say?
so getting around their countermeasures is not
Was
as
mid
difficult
yawn.
as getting around the feds.
That's fair enough.
Now, as far as getting you guys wanting to go into this guy's building, I might
Yes.
be able to get a hold of the cameras in the building and phase them off as to try and keep you off their radar.
That would be great. It'd be two things. One, it'd be nice if, he gets a visitor from, he gets a certain visitor showing up. We're not expecting her necessarily at his house, but I would say if she doesn't know where to find us, that's where I would start.
Right, but
and
see,
sh-
so I could stay here if we have a way to communicate. And I could try to do the electronic countermeasures that you'll need to physically get there. The issue is there will be two of you going into what could potentially, quite honestly, be a hornet's nest.
Right, I
No.
feel better if the cap was with us, but
Trying to lure that person out from what you have said, he's on house arrest. He
I don't wanna
can't-
lure him out. I
No,
wanna
I'm
be,
talking about what Mallory was talking about. He's talking about trying to lure the guy out, but I don't think the guy can come out. At least not without setting off an alarm for whatever house arrest monitoring system they have going on.
That's true.
So I don't know how, I mean, I don't know what they've got him on right now, but he's, at least as far as here in Cymbeline, he's a pretty high level guy in the feds. So if they're looking at him for, wrongdoings and illegal activity, he's kind of going to be on lockdown. And under surveillance, and there might be Fed guys in his apartment with him.
Yeah, I mean, the rough equivalent would be if you were in a fairly large city and the senior most district attorney got arrested. That would be roughly equivalent to what Keith Smitchy's
All right.
status would be.
I was
Right.
thinking he was a little more, low level, so I apologize.
No,
Sorry.
No,
So
he's pretty bit high up.
there's probably maybe just constab, but there's also possibly the idea that there would be Fed guys parked outside of his building, just multiple points, keeping an eye, make sure he doesn't go anywhere, doesn't do anything. That's why
Maybe.
I said, trying to go after him physically, that's a heavy deal. Now, I can try to help you with the cameras if you decide that's what you want to do anyway.
Yeah, I'd say let's see if we get the cameras and
Sure.
maybe just see if there's anything inside of his apartment that you can, if he's got half-ass security anyway, maybe there's something you can break into his local Alexa or whatever, and we can get eavesdrop on what's going on there. If you got that kind of skill set, I'm all for it. I don't want to go there. I just think we need to go there.
Well, see, here's the thing. What you're talking about is me going with you. What I'm talking about is me staying here, taking care of the cameras, and you
Yes,
go
I
doing the
agree.
physical stuff.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying, is there something in his apartment versus outside the, in his building? I'm all for that, where we don't have to physically go. Are
Mhm.
we saying the same thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because you were talking before about,
I'm
You
saying
wanna
we have to
get-
go there. You're saying, well, I can get into the building, take care of the cameras. I'm saying,
Right.
well, if you can go that far, is it possible to actually get into his apartment and see if he's got any sort of like, cameras or
Oh,
listening
I
devices
see.
in the apartment you could eavesdrop into, and maybe we don't actually have to go there.
I know
It's
that
a huge risk for us to go there.
Well,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what he was just talking about
The
from the law
privacy
level.
laws,
Like,
the privacy laws here on Cymbeline, there won't be anything video or audio in his apartment. He has privacy protection.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that I got a Spotify, Alexa right over here for my Spotify, and
Well, you
we can hack
chose to
into
have
that,
the
yeah.
FBI listening device in your home. He didn't.
in fact, he's probably got several really good reasons not to have an Alexa.
Yeah.
Fair.
Shit, my
You
Alexa just
you
went off.
you ask your government listening device for pancake recipes.
That's
Yeah,
what
I just
do.
said the word. Mine went off, and there's like, yes, can I help you?
Yeah. That's why for D team, I named my character Echo, because when I say my character's name, it makes Mike's thing go off.
Excellent.
Like I say, hey, Alexa, what time is it? She's like, did you say sedition? No, I didn't say sedition. Stop that.
So, and now as far as trying to hack into his data stream, that was what I was talking about before. We could try to do that, but my presumption is, based on his current condition legally, his data stream is already being monitored by
Alright, fair.
feds. So if I try to break into it and fail, or even just don't succeed well enough,
Right.
then we're going to be, then at that point, the feds are going to know we're there.
No, I'd say you be the guy in the chair, and if it goes south, you don't know us, you never heard of us, you were just having some coffee at a local shop and went about your day.
I'm just a hitchhiker.
No. And I can try and facilitate that for you if that's what you want to do. The
Yeah,
thing is, we need, I don't know if you guys have comms outside of,
neural lace.
yeah, well, you guys can't use neural lace.
Yeah, the
Right.
problem is you guys fire up your neural lace and you're gonna, I mean, suddenly there's gonna be
You become a
little,
beacon.
yeah, little radar boards all over the law enforcement of this city. Just
There
go
they
sort of like
are.
bing, bing, bing.
See, that's, yeah, you're right. Nobody needs Alexa because they got Alexa built into their head now.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a local Radio Shack, space Radio Shack? We can get some,
Sure.
some local walkie talkies.
There's not a local Radio Shack now. What makes you think there is 2,700?
So so to your point, the idea of handheld
A
over
burner
the
phone situation.
yeah, burner phone situation. The problem is, sure, they are available. The problem is they go over station network, right? It's all there's no radio waves anymore, or cellular kind of things. Everything is going over station network, which means if you buy a burner, all that traffic is essentially going to be voice over IP through Cymbeline Station's network, the same network that uses lace. Now, it might not be obvious to people, to law enforcement, that it's you guys using these phones, which you could probably get away with theoretically, but they certainly have your voice prints and stuff like that on. So you would need additional security probably to use those. With
This is Natasha.
Yeah.
Red dog flies at dawn. They'll never break their code. They'll never break it.
The fat man leaves at midnight.
Hey.
Yeah. The sleepy
Some
bag.
guy at Tile will be like, "You found him. Got a fat man leaves at midnight code. We got him."
Be more specific.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you would probably want to disguise voice prints, or if you're going to use voice only communications, I mean, you could use text communications, which would be better.
Don't they have Tor or something?
Well, yeah,
I mean,
sure they
we
do.
got
I mean,
Sergey here.
similar
Sergey's
kind of
got
thing.
Sergey's got extracurricular activities that he's got to keep off the nets. So I
Sure.
assume he knows a guy who knows a guy who. I mean, we're already in for a penny and a pound with this guy, so maybe he's got something he can, a can with a long string on it.
Maybe he's worried that you guys are starting to become baggage.
Well, yes, but he don't get paid if we don't get off the station.
So maybe he buys himself a little tile of goodwill by telling them where those murderers are holed up.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a bounty on you guys anyway, so he's going to
Good
make
for him.
money one way or the other.
Right now, I mean, and Bishop might be better acquainted with this than anything. Right now, Sergey is like, look, these guys are customers of mine. They've done me this significant favor by going down to Tuvik and taking care of that business for me. So I'm willing to go to a certain extent to protect them, which he has done. Remember, he cleaned the warehouse. He took you guys
He's
back.
done an awful lot. Yeah.
He's done an awful lot, and he's kept you safe in a safe house for the last 3 days, coming up on 3 days. But
All
he's
right,
like,
fair enough.
but he's starting to make squeaky noises along the lines of, "Look, I can keep you guys protected forever."
we need to
No,
make a
we
decision
want to get
about
off his. We want to get off his largesse here. We want to get off the.
Yeah, it's
off his
like-
radar.
It's like that one guy at the party where it's 2 a.m., everybody else is left, and he's like, "How much more beer do you have?" And you're like, "Whoa, but it's getting pretty late."
I'm like, no.
And your wife's like, "He has to go."
Restart the dark side of the mood. This is the best part right here.
Who wants to watch Lord of the Rings?
Director's edition.
I've had friends like that, man, where you just literally had to go, well, it's 2:00. You have to go home. And they're like, okay, we got to go. But I was too polite the first couple of times. And it was, when 6:00 rolls around and it's dawn, and he's like sitting on my couch going, hey, it's dawn. And
It was just that one time, Les.
it's not you. I'm not talking about you.
I remember early in our marriage, my wife called me from upstairs. She's in our bedroom for the last 3 hours. She's like, Matt, can I talk to you for a second? Like, yeah, like your friends need to get the fuck out of my house right now. I go, okay.
Yep.
Sorry, guys, you gotta go.
Been there. But yeah, so I mean, Sergey's a good dude. He's got your back, but he's also got a business to run. He's got to live on this station, and he's got a lot of He's got a lot of business interests here.
Yes.
On a continuum of legitimate to unlegitimate, right? So there will come a point, and you guys will recognize this, where his feelings of obligation to you and goodwill will be overcome by his opportunity to get in good with people who may fuckify him later.
Right. I'm all for getting off this station ASAP. Even if it means we don't interview Skeevy, Skeevy, what's his name?
Steve Smitchy?
Yeah,
Smitchy. Well, I will point out, Mallory, that
Rhymes with
Smitchy
snitchy.
is, I mean, from everything that you've heard from these guys, that Smitchy is directly and solely, well, not solely, but directly responsible for the death of your friend.
I feel like Les
Um,
wants you to have a murder rap on over your neck.
Well,
We can-
the other
probably
thing to
better.
consider is this guy's gonna be pulled off the station at some point very soon to be taken to a bigger fishbowl.
Well,
right?
I'm pretty sure that he knows too much, so if he doesn't deliver us, he's gonna have a short walk off a long pier, or a long walk off a short pier.
Possibly.
Space pier. He's gonna get spaced.
But it
There's
also
no
might
way
be,
that the bear people are gonna let him walk around.
it also might be easier to grab him en route than it is to try to grab him at his apartment now.
That's true. It would be good to just get him, grab him, and bring him along. I don't know.
What are we gonna pretend to be, DoorDash drivers or something?
I got your nuggets.
Yeah. We're space
My
nuggets.
plan.
It's not a
Yeah.
euphemism.
They're very tender.
All right, yeah. Geez. Well, I vote we let Mr. Hawk try to neutralize the cams in the hallway, and then we just go up and knock and say, yeah, DoorDash, Grubhub.
Well, if we got Chuck to this point, Bishop, you got any lock picking skills over there? These are all electronic locks, I'm sure.
No. Well, if they're electronic, I can try to hack them, of course.
So that's what I'm saying.
You guys haven't got to look at it. You don't know what house
But-
arrest looks to these guys.
Well, we're about to go find out. All right, I've got my bushy mustache on, my beret, it says Grubhub, base Grubhub on it or whatever.
Point of order. Mallory Graves has a locker, a rented locker, say at the bus station. And in that locker, he's got some gear that's too bulky for him to be walking around the station with. For now, he's wearing his Protec, and he's got his little sidearm. That's all.
Okay,
But
so like a body pistol kind of thing.
yes, sir. Let me get that actual thing for you. Just, I mean, if it matters. He has a just 2D damage. In his locker at the bus station, he's got more stuff which he would like to bring before we leave. I mean, that's one complication. I've got some gear that I would prefer to not leave here. If I can get that gear onto the ship before we blast off. Do they still say blast off? I'm dating myself. I'm sorry.
Blast 'em.
You know what? I'm gonna
Frankly,
say-
that's what honestly, that's why I log in is to watch Eric debate himself on some of these.
Yeah, as a half asleep fat man, I'll allow it.
Well, before we blast off, I would like to get my stuff from this locker. This stuff might prove useful for the group going forward.
I have a question,
Yes, sir.
and really it's kind of more for Weber.
I'm really not seeing anybody right now, but we can see where it goes.
Well, it can go up to the bar where you get me another drink and then you can answer this question.
What do you got?
this guy that you're dealing with, this Fed dude, right? So he's a fairly high level guy in the Fed organization on this station, but it sounds to me like he's kind of screwed. And
I
your
would say that
buddy,
he's
your buddy
gonna die.
Mallory over there, mentioned that he knows too much and that some bears are going to ice him. Is that kind of understood? I mean, is that real?
I believe it was me who said that, but I say absolutely that's going to happen. He knows too much. If he can't deliver us, I don't see that he has any value to the organization that he's also beholden to.
Well, I
and-
assume this guy knows that, right?
I would assume so. That I just don't. If you've got a
Well, so wait,
a galactically wide criminal organization working under the radar of multiple
right.
galaxy states or whatever, I don't know what you're gonna call them,
So
multiple
just,
empires, that they're gonna want to make sure he can't talk.
so just follow me on this logic. This guy sounds like he's got a death sentence on him now because he failed whatever it was he's supposed to do, which apparently was to kill you guys. So if I can jack the cameras and get you to his door, are you convincing enough to convince him that escaping with you is a better idea than dying at the hands of bears, and get him to come with you willingly?
I don't know, Eric, you got your spoon with you? I think we can make this happen.
Coffin had the spoon. Mallory,
As a ladle.
He's got tongs. He's got a pair of tongs.
He's got a,
You hear Mallory coming, click, click, click.
he's got a
Click,
big
click,
ass,
click, click.
he's got a big ass spatula, one of those heavy duty grill bad boys.
So I certainly we can make it worth his while, but what are we gonna do with him once we get him to space? I wouldn't trust us not to space him either, so I don't know why he would be motivated to go with us.
Well, guaranteed death is sometimes less fun than possibly not dying, I guess.
That sounds like it should be on a t-shirt, Chuck. I like it.
No, there's no t-shirts.
Guaranteed
just
death is
saying.
sometimes less fun than possibly living.
If this guy
Chuck,
is that,
Texas.
if this guy is that screwed, then maybe he would find it better to take his chance rolling with you to get off this station than sticking around and facing the music he's gonna face.
Well, I guess we can find out. We
Go
squeeze
ahead.
some more information. Go ahead, Eric. I think I'm done here. Go ahead.
Just that for history, Coffin and Mallory were colleagues and friends.
Lovers.
Thank
Brown
you.
chicken, brown cow.
I'm sorry, did that come out of my mouth? I'm sorry. I'm just thinking that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
A lot
I
of
didn't
love
mean
in the air-
anything
A lot
by
of love in the air tonight.
Yes, love is in the air.
It's the spring weather.
They were they were fighting the bugs on that hellhole planet T. All right, thank you.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Thank you. Along with Wolf, the dwarf, and so on and so on. Mallory, does Mallory want to kill, murder, get vengeance on Snitchy, Keeve? Probably. Mallory is a bit more level-headed than the impulsive, psychotic Coffin Doyle.
Do you kill unarmed weasels, or do you not kill unarmed weasels? I guess.
I would have trouble. Mallory would have trouble killing Keeve in cold blood.
All right.
So you set him on fire first, so he's good.
Yeah, provoke him until he attacks, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
know.
no blood, no
Yeah,
foul.
And then,
Hey, Les,
I plant a weapon I keep in my sock on him
Yeah. Les,
to make
can
it
you,
look like it was legit.
can you throw up that message again?
Sure.
The one from Smitchy to whoever he was talking to?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you haven't read it as often as we have.
Yeah.
So the quick explanation, you've got this top part is the message from Smitchy. Cymbeline, Tyler location 0.4368. That's Smitchy's house.
Right.
Subtransport encryption. He's still using yellow level encryption. This is Tyler encryption. This is probably habit.
Yeah.
Tyler site cap. Case Smitchy. This is probably an identification number. Personal, non-gov, non-mil, which means this is non-governmental, non-military. Text only. What he says is Operation Vesper is incomplete. 2 casualties, 1 Tyler, 1 target. Casualty target C. Doyle, and then another series of digits. Non-casualty targets escaped, protected S. Golgachov, which you would recognize as Sergei Datsuyuk Golgachov. That's his name.
Yeah.
Current location unknown. We're working on it. All units. So all units is an interesting way to say that, because if Smitchy's on his own, who are his units? That kind of thing. So there may be other people that are seeking you out informally and trying to find you. So this happens at 7:34:55 on 1st July 2484. Same day, about 30 minutes later, you get a message from Greenprint. This is Greenprint Station, subtrans, no encryption, no source, which means they're blocking the source for him. Personal, non-gov, non-mil, text only. Start 20 kilocredits for Doyle. That sounds like a payoff. 0 kilocredits for non-casualties, which means if you didn't kill anybody, you don't get paid. Find, finish, get paid. Seems like something they're asking him to do. Now, he's already under house arrest at this point, so maybe whoever he's talking to doesn't know that.
Right.
Big Grizz, which you guys are assuming is Kick Bandiers, wants this done ASAP. Little Lady, which you guys are assuming is Chimera, is mad that your boys got Doyle. She hated Doyle.
Yeah.
Tread lightly around that one. She says Wagner's next on her list. She's en route to Cymbeline. Don't let the Gin and Tonic leave Cymbeline. Don't get in her way, which means Chimera is going to be here at some point and causing problems. And then they end the message. So at this point, Smitchy responds within like 9 minutes.
Yeah,
Cymbeline, Tyler, same thing. And he says, I'm on it. And that's the end of the transmissions.
So the original transmission where he sent the status update, was
Uh-huh.
he under house arrest then?
He was.
Okay.
But it looks like, considering, so he's still using yellow encryption. Yellow Tyler encryption is pretty good for Tyler. It's largely, I mean, from your point of view, it's trash, right?
Yeah,
It's used for garbage. But Smitchy is a career bureaucrat, right? So he may not understand some of the technical aspects of what encryption yellow from Tyler means. I mean, you guys know, you as from your background know that it's a Swiss cheese, but he may not know that. The fact that he's using, also to your eyes, the fact that he's using encryption yellow, he's using Tyler encryption to send this message to Greenprint, means that he's either talking to other Tyler people in Greenport, or he's talking to somebody in Greenport who is adept or has the codes to decrypt yellow Tyler messages. He's talking to somebody who can decrypt yellow.
Yeah, well, the other part of it is he sent that original message after he was under house arrest.
Yep.
So he may not know what kind of problem he's got.
He might. Yeah, he might not. He absolutely might not.
Well, I would say if
Give me the
he has people
impression
out
he was
looking
a
for
really
us,
bright guy.
if he's got people out looking for us, I wouldn't guess the last place they're looking for us is at his house.
Probably so.
That's a good bet. I would say that's a probably good bet.
So
But what it does sort of, well, it doesn't necessarily mean it, but what it sort of hints at is the idea that there are extraneous, extra legal people who are seeking you in Cymbeline. Now, these people may have access to far different lines of communication and lines of investigation than Tyler or even Constab does.
and I think we need to get out of the safe house as soon as possible, because that's the first place. Like, if I was them, I'd grab one of Sergei's guys and beat the information out of him where we're holed up.
Or pay him, right? I mean, how much money does Tyler have?
That's fair. That's fair.
So let me know if you want me to try to do something about the cameras, if you want to go try to turn this guy. Or if you just want to go try to beat the crap out of him, I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, he does.
But he might be in
the
a
way
world,
yeah, go ahead.
he's a bureaucrat and he thinks he's powerful and he thinks he's important. So he might not have any idea that he's a dead man walking.
Captain Black did a nice number on his ego last time, as I recall. He was slapping around and making time with his secretary at the same time, as I recall. Like,
Impressed
sorry,
her,
doll,
I
you got to watch this. Slap, slap, slap.
Alright.
It was like a
So,
cuckold video.
what are you doing later? You know, I might have a few minutes of heat on me, but maybe we can catch up a little later. If this is Grand Theft Auto, I'll just hide behind this dumpster for 2 minutes and then all the
Right.
heat will be off. Yeah.
Well, she didn't seem like the hide behind the dumpster type, but she certainly enjoyed talking with Captain Gray and getting to know him a little bit, and potentially throwing her boss under the freaking bus. Well, I mean,
he
frankly, you
used her
didn't need a lot of push to have her throw the boss on the
he
bus.
used her as
So
a bullet shield for crying out loud.
he did.
Yeah.
He did do that. So yeah, that's certainly it's a
He's a straight douchebag.
turn off. It's a turn off. What turn-ons are long, for her long walks on the station, puppies, kind of turn-offs are disingenuous people, and guys who use me to try and block bullets.
Yeah. Use me as a meat shield.
What is our intent in going to visit Smitchy anyway? I mean, if we could just get off of this station, we would just go, right?
Right. So, but
Yeah.
he might have the final piece we need to get off the station easy. And
What makes us
maybe,
think
just
that?
maybe, we could find out a little more information. There might be some other data dump or something we can get off of him. Because
Okay.
remember, we're out here trying to solve the great mysteries of the universe on what the Kazintis are up to. Sorry,
Yeah.
the
Ursay. We know what the
All right.
Kazintis are up to. They're trying to annihilate the affront, which you guys have nominally allied yourselves with.
Yes.
By the way, I'm just saying, if
Yeah.
you guys run into
Little
some
bit, yep.
Kazinti at some point, and they know about Seventide, and so the affront, you just know the affront talk some shit. Seventide is in a bar somewhere going, my human friends are Cymbeline right now, facing a great deal of criminal charges, which I totally expected, because that is exactly the kind of human friends that I love to have.
As they say on Greenprint Station, once you go jellyfish, you never go back.
He's waiting for you guys to come back to his ship so you guys can hunt some tigers and octopuses and shit. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he was like a doomsday prepper friend. He was like terrifying, but kind of entertaining to play with his toys. Like, hey, you want to go out in the
he
woods and
sold
play
you
with my
guys-
bazooka?
He sold you guys guns. He's like, try these guns out. I'll sell them to you. I don't care. I have no doubt in my mind that at some point in the future, you guys will have call to go back to Colonel Seventide and hang out with him a little
Well,
bit.
sooner or later, Dr. Wagner's endless supply of tiger penises is going to run low, and he's going to need to.
That's when he'll need to go back.
Yeah.
Come take a look at what my human friend sold me. An entire collection of penises.
Oh, man.
Swizzle sticks for everybody.
My friend Milligrew is the foremost human collector of penises, both alien and human, that I have ever met. He is my best human friend.
I'm humbled.
That guy. All right.
All right, so that's why I want to go. Plus, we've been lurking around here for like 2 episodes now. It's time to kick some ass.
It's time to do a thing.
It's time
Amen.
it's time to put some vengeance down on behalf of Doyle. What I do not want to do is start killing innocent Tyler officers or whatnot. That's not a good look for us. Those of us like to live in the gray and haven't gone full berserker mode.
All right. So that being the case, so it sounds like you guys are going to go check out Smitchy, and at the very least, beat the crap out of him and maybe get some information, that kind of stuff. Couple of things. Bishop has pointed out that if you guys go in and beat the crap out of Smitchy, the likelihood is that Tyler will at some point get some inkling that some nefarious shit is going on, even though he doesn't have cameras in his house. So that's one, which means that suddenly you got a clock. 2, you got 2 guys back at Sergei's place who are moderate to let's just say moderately injured, right? So you've got a split party already. And one of those people is Dr. Wagner, and the other one is the captain of your ship, who you guys want to see.
I'm
So
feeling better.
I feel fine.
I would love to get them to the diner where near the ship with Bishop and Gawker. I'm sorry, the other name of Gawker, Mehmet Tam.
Tam.
I know he's Gawker at the moment.
You can call me Gawker. No, I don't have that ability anymore where I can change my appearance.
Oh, all right.
Since we
you're
were
No,
in
you
Cypher.
still do.
Oh, do I? Okay.
Yeah.
So I am Gawker now.
Yeah, we are Gawker now. All right. So, and third, if you guys get tipped off to Tyla, now Constab, maybe Bishop can do some stuff to help that out. But if you guys get tipped off to Tyla, they're going to come to full court press on you guys, which means that if you guys need to get from from Smitchy's house to the ship, and then get on the ship, and then get all the shit arranged with the ship, that I mean, so Bishop is saying, look, I can get rid of the clamps, I can get rid of the software interrupts on Jin, and Gawker has said, look, if you do that, by the time that it takes us to get off Cymbeline Station and out to the Lagrange point, I can work with Jin and have the jump coordinates ready. We can
I'm
get
good to
out
go,
of this
yep.
system. You guys have to make that happen. So one of the things Gawker might point out at this point is that leaving Cymbeline Station and getting to the Lagrange point is about 4 hours under heavy fusion drive. There's a lot of gravity wells in this system, and you guys have to get out to the Lagrange point, because one of the things about jump drives is you cannot activate a jump drive in a gravity well and without creating a problem.
Yeah, you can. It's just very bad.
Yeah, you can, and then those people never get seen
And
again.
then we're
So
done. And then we're
yeah,
done.
and then we start a new campaign. We'll play 5e or some shit. But to get, so that's why the Lagrange points are not only important, but every civilized system has them blocked off. It's like they have space buoys there that say, hey, you have arrived, past this buoy, you can, go ahead and jump. Gawker will tell you that we can do that. And if we can get off station between now and then, I can get the jump with Jin's help. I can get the jump drive equations laid in for wherever we want to go. But it's a 4-hour shot on fusion drive. It's flat out, which means that, and frankly, Cymbeline Station is full of ships.
Well, aren't we a fully armed and operational battle station now? As I recall, that was the whole reason we were here.
Kinda.
We haven't got to play with our new toys. This might be the time to.
It might be the time.
I'm looking only at empty seats here, so I'm not inspiring the troops as I wanted to. Come
Well,
on,
I'm gonna empty this seat real quick. I gotta do a thing. But
I'm
you guys
listening.
talk
You
among
are
yourselves.
inspiring me.
All right.
Matt,
So I appreciate that. You no longer look half asleep. So I would say, like, it's time to play with our new toys. If we get off station, maybe we with our new toys, we can keep anybody from trying to. I don't even know in this universe if they track or beam us or how they would try to slow us down. But I would say that we do maybe. Okay, here's how I see it. We get to this Weasel's house. We do whatever we're gonna do there. Whoever's gonna come with us, I'd love to have Captain Black with us because he's got arm cannon. And Dr. Wagner, you probably need to be on the ship because I think you're the most wounded of us left. So you probably won't be running through the halls in a running gunfight. So maybe you should be at the Applebee's or whatever, the Bennigans that Don's hiding out at. And then whenever we finish with the Weasel, we create some sort of huge distraction over on this side of the station that forces some or all of the Tyla and other agents to come off there because they have to deal with something that's of paramount importance to station security, which I'm thinking it has to be an integrity, right? If we can create some sort of distraction that they consider as perhaps station integrity is at risk, that they would have to come this way and go away.
You guys aren't bombing another station, are you?
I'm not bombing a station, but I can make them think we're going to bomb a station.
You know, that's what I love about you guys. You guys fly from space station to space station, setting off explosives and decompressing various pieces of them. And it's just like, how do we know where the crew of Gin and Tonic has been? Oh, well, just look for the decompressed space stations.
Yeah, I pointed out to you last time that we didn't decompress the space station. That was the general all on his own. Like, what? Did you say not open this door? This door right here? This don't open this door? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, I get that, but since he's not with you guys anymore and he's gone back to wherever he's from, you guys are fully being blamed for all that.
Yeah.
Great.
But Eric, what were you gonna say?
Didn't
Popular opinion.
didn't Coffin rashly open a door or something? I don't know. Anyway,
No, it wasn't Coffin. It was as Matt pointed out, it was General Jadzizik who
Right.
opened the door and set off the bomb and basically got you guys banned from Greenport.
that guy. Oh my god! All right, never mind.
That guy.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
A lot of talk about that guy.
You still talk to him at all, Les?
I do, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he's not in this world, so that's
Mhm.
fine.
So,
So what's the plan? What's the plan, boys?
shit, man, tough call. Tough call.
What? I'm gonna take Mallory's side. It's like tough call. Coffin Doyle, your compadre, your apparently your bunkmate. Your cue the music, Les. Your paramour from the military. This is your chance to look the man in the eye who got him killed.
All right, very good. All right.
I know you're maybe not a bloodthirsty berserker, Coffin Doyle, and that will work in our favor here. I am not a gunfighter, but I am a shit talker, and I'd be happy to do so on our behalf. And if we can start some sort of distraction inside the station, I will be
That one's
happy to
more
start.
fitting, yeah.
Yeah, I will be happy to start some sort of distraction over here. I have something in mind, but I don't want to reveal it to Les until we see how
Right.
this goes.
Well, I think that's unfair.
All right.
Let's go. If Mr. Hawk can do something with the hallway cams, I would love to at least talk to Skeevy Rich. What's his name? Skeeve? No, Keeve. Smitchy Keeve.
Keeve Smitchy.
I love, you know what, frankly, I gotta write down all these variations on
Yeah.
Keith Smitchy that Eric
Like-
keeps coming up with because I could go NPCs for a while on this.
They like Tyler has like a bolo out for him and it says alias, aka Keeve Smitchy, aka Smitchy Keeve, aka
AKA
Smitchy Steve.
Itchy Steve.
AKA Smoochy.
Yes, death too.
All right. So how do you guys want to go at this? So I mean, do you want to so there's a couple of things. Mallory and Bishop are essentially not problematic from a camera standpoint. They can walk freely throughout Cymbeline Station. They are not under any sort of surveillance. The rest of you kind of are. But the rest of you, at least out and about, are Gawker, who has switched his, I mean, they don't know his face. So he's doing that. Really the only weak spot in that is Weber Jix, who is wearing, I'm sorry, a big hat, did you say?
And a bushy mustache.
And a bushy mustache. Okay, so that I'm sure that'll go far.
Unravelable. I'm a master disguise or some sort of level of disguise, so I would have whatever I thought would be a good disguise here.
Okay.
Wearing like jump, oil covered jump overalls or whatever I think will do it. But I would say the one thing also, it occurs to me that we talked about our voices being picked up, but Eric and Chuck's voices, they could talk all they want on a communication device, as long as they talk in a circumspect manner. That shouldn't trigger any flags per se.
The fat man walks at midnight.
Yeah. And he
Mallory,
yells a lot.
Mallory, is that you?
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, yeah, I mean, hypothetically, yeah, absolutely. They're not under any sort of interdiction. They are not under suspicion from Tyler or Constab, so they can act independently. Matt, Weber's ability to disguise himself is probably the only thing keeping you guys from getting spotted, right? Because you're the weak link in that thing, and you're doing okay. The problem is you got two other weak links. You got Dr. Wagner, you got Captain Gray, both of whom are injured, both of whom are not disguise experts by any stretch of the imagination, and
Are there
and are now in
laundry
a different
baskets?
place.
Yeah. Are there rolling cart laundry baskets on the station or no? I mean, that's
Sure,
all- yeah.
absolutely.
That's all
They
we
have-
need. Is one
They have
rolling cart.
gravity panel vans in this place.
Yeah, so all we need is the old space laundry to be picked up in a local condo, a B&B, Airbnb over here, or is it space B&B? And get that to the Bennigans where Gawker is.
All right, I got to bring in some space Bennigans. That's going to be a thing.
We're not at
Um,
Bennigan's. We're at a futuristic restaurant called Buttfuckers. It used to be Fuddruckers, but the name kept changing, a la Idiocracy. Now it's just Buttfuckers.
Motherfucker.
Try the fried mozzarella. It's great. All right, so what do you guys want to do? So do you want to like send some guys out to check it out, or do you want to like go in mass and just bust in?
Well,
What's the
I didn't
plan?
know. Does Captain want to be with us, or is he injured enough he wants to go?
If
be
you're
back?
intending to kill him, you really should bring me with. If you're not intending to kill him, don't bring me with.
Well, if you're going to bring the captain with, you should bring Dr. Wagner with.
Now, Dr. Wagner, well, it's up to Dr. Wagner, but I was like, Dr. Wagner is the least healthy among us, and
Well, Dr. Wagner has done quite a bit of work on himself, and is not nearly as injured as he used to be. Is that correct,
Here's what
Dr.
I know.
Wagner?
Dr. Wagner cannot go anywhere by himself because his angry ex-girlfriend is somewhere nearby looking for him.
Right.
Well, yes, that's true.
Wow.
No, I think one of the things you guys need to remember is Wagner has well, you guys don't know this yet, but Wagner has done some significant repairs on himself, and is largely mobile.
Yeah, well,
And-
Dr. Wagner, Captain Black, speak for yourself. Captain Gray, Captain. speak
Yeah,
for
and
yourself.
Captain is also mobile because he fixed the bulk of his damage in his arm.
Yep.
It's not
Mobile,
100%,
but
it's
still enfeebled.
So do you want to be where the action is, or do you want to be by the ship so you can amble on and as soon as the getting is good?
I'd assume the ship is under watch, right? So
Right.
It
you split
is.
the
We'd be sending you to the
Oh,
Bennington,
Bishop could confirm that.
Yeah.
Gawker and Bishop.
I need to go with the group. It's
All right.
Yeah, and if we go to the ship, we should go as a group, so we're ready for a fight.
All right. So do we have like
Well,
some
the
dark
idea is-
clothes and string
The
ties?
idea
we
is,
can wear?
is to come to this dive bar and then I can try to make it so there is no fight.
Got it. But we should do that as a group, not just me and Dr. Wagner going on around.
No. And you two are highly recognizable, especially the guy with a third eye in the back of his head.
Well, I mean,
So-
you give him a bandana. That problem solved.
Yeah, I don't think the big nose and sunglasses thing is really gonna be an effective countermeasure to electronic surveillance. Just
Even in
saying.
the 26th century, man.
Yeah.
The simplest ways.
All right, it sounds like that you guys are going to go from the bar, pick up Captain Gray and Dr. Wagner, bring them back to the bar, and from the bar sort of foment whatever operation you're going to do to Smitchy's. Is that largely correct?
Not a great plan. I'm open to other plans if we just want to try to take the ship.
Well, I want to know what guns you guys are bringing.
but I just have my my modified body pistol. So that's
You know,
I do have a shotgun. I forgot that.
Well,
Okay, how you
and-
hiding that thing?
Well,
I mean, because I have a shotgun and it's not easy to hide. It's sort of like the least hideable gun ever.
that's what I
Unless-
told
unless you have
Model
an-
refers to it
and-
more like a handgun than a shotgun, right?
Yeah, unless you have a howitzer that you're dragging along behind your SUV, it's not easy to hide.
One does not normally hear
What about
concealed
sawed
carry
off?
and shotgun in the same sentence.
Um,
But if, for that matter, because my face isn't known, I could go and pick up some sort of crate, pallet jack, something along those lines. Something that those two could hide in and wheel them back to the alley behind the bar. Yes,
Yes.
in
Yeah.
theory, because I dress like a mech anyway, so me moving around parts or what have you is not going to draw any attention.
You dress in large part like a, the thing about Bishop is you dress largely like every other computer guy on Cymbeline dresses, right? So
but
it's one of those things where you're sort of like
Nerd.
almost invisible.
Yeah, and
From the
he's also a mechanic, so like the coveralls and the whatever. Yeah, he's going
Right.
to be invisible.
yeah, a couple of fluorescent stripes,
Yeah.
when you're working in that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean you're wearing essentially the same clothing that 40% of the people in the immediate area of the docks are going to be wearing.
And that's what I'm telling you. I'm wearing less. That's whatever is the least, most disguisable, least noticeable is what Weber Jix is also wearing.
So I can go and get the other two guys and get them back here.
Okay.
If you two still want to go to Smitchy's
you wanna-
apartment,
Yeah, Eric, do you want to be Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid and see what's over there? I think on record, I'm not the one who instigates any gunfights here, but I would say we have to go over here and see what's what. But if
Agreed.
shit goes down, I guess we could try this new battle system and see how dead we can become.
yeah,
That'd
I
be
got
good.
a gun.
Well, and so Mallory makes a good point here. He's like I got a whole thing of I got a yeah.
messed up.
He's got a bunch of stuff stored. He's like, if we're leaving in a hurry, how do I get my stuff on your ship?
Well,
Um,
can we put it on now or carry it with us to where we're going, or what do we get? How big is it? How much?
No, he's
stuff is
talking
on it?
pallets, right?
I what I got, I have, I happen to have retained some gear from my military service by channels I won't discuss here. I have a boarding vac suit. I have polycarbonate armor, and I have an assault shotgun, which is about as big as a gun gets.
Less as shipped items. None of those things are illegal, right?
Well,
That depends on where you are.
Well, like we could
well,
like we
to
already have
him-
the ship is already loaded with gear, right? That we're your cargo that we're taking elsewhere. That's part of the issue that we're dealing with here. Why we have a little gray area to wiggle around in. But could we say that this is another shipment to be put on board? Because they could scan it for life forms and know that there's nobody on there and just have it wheeled on board.
No, what he has right now is legal on Cymbeline Station. And it's largely legal because he is just and correct me if I'm wrong, Mallory,
Right
but you have just recently left the Colonial Marines,
Correct.
and this is largely your equipment that you were mustered out with. So yeah, I mean it's legal here. You go you go to Terra.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just
You
saying
may
that
have a problem with the shotgun, but
if we tape it up in a box and have it shipped on board by whatever robot does the cargo shipping here, I can see that the Tyler officers might say, hey, what's this? Making sure it's not one of us sneaking on board and say, hey, this is late cargo that needs to go to the ship. The ship's already chock-a-block full of cargo. Let's just added one more piece to the cargo. No, you don't think?
all right. Well, no. So because here's why. So basically, your ship is under interdiction right now. It's an illegal ship. It's evidence. If a drone shows up and says, "Hey, I got to put some stuff on this ship," everybody's going to be on like high
In the
alert.
impounded ship?
Now, the reality is that you already have 87 tons of cargo on the ship, which happened before the ship was interdicted. Now,
Right.
what's happening right now is all those people who sold you that cargo are trying to figure out how do they get it back. Right. So it's sort of a little bit like asset forfeiture, right?
Yeah.
The cops took my money. How do I get it back? It's a lengthy legal process. It's possible to get it back, but unlikely. So they're now deploying lawyers to figure out how to do that. But while they do that, the cargo is still on your ship.
So
Yeah.
when we do steal the ship or break free, we make the deliveries and still earn the money.
Correct.
Yes.
But I mean,
And
also-
gain
If you
great res-
if you go so here's the tricky bit of that though.
Yeah.
The people on Cymbeline know where those deliveries are going. So if they
Well, we
go
don't
to you
there right
guys,
away.
if they go to you guys and say, okay, these guys are delivering 87 tons of cargo to Ember. Oh, by the way, we have paperwork that says these guys are delivering cargo to Ember. Oh, let's send some fast ass ships over to Ember and cut these guys off at the pass.
I
Which
got
what
a
they
plan
may
for that.
do.
I got a plan for that.
Yeah, it's
I know
like
a guy.
I have
know
a
guy
tr-
that-
I have a
know a guy.
I have a truck full of
Yeah.
chickens, and I'm supposed to deliver those chickens to Albuquerque, but I shot a man in
Reno,
in
just watch him die.
Las Vegas. So I'm gonna go, but I need the money, so I'm gonna run to Albuquerque real quick and drop off those chickens.
No, you shot a man.
It's
in
that kind of
Reno.
thing.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
plan.
I did
for
it
this,
just to
guys.
watch him
You
die.
gotta
Watch
trust
him
me. I
die.
got a plan. I got a plan.
All right. You know,
It may
if-
not be a viable plan, but it is a plan.
So do you want me to go and get your other two guys?
I would say, yeah, go roll our walking wounded to the space Bennigans or wherever you're setting up your shop. And once you've got that done, maybe Eric and I will amble over that way and be ready for you to jump on cameras. And once you're on cameras, then we can make
Yeah.
our
should.
Well, and
really-
the other thing is.
Go ahead.
I have mobile computers, so I don't need to be
Yes.
back sat here. I can do it whenever, wherever.
I would say wherever you feel comfortable doing it from. Me personally, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole, so you have plausible deniability from whatever, room you want
Well,
to sit up in.
I do
But if you're
sort of,
helping keep babies.
but
and
if I have
others.
if I have a lev cart with two suspected felons in it, I still kind of have plausible deniability. I didn't know it was in there.
What I'm saying is I got a couple felons in this cart. I could roll it
Yeah,
over to
surround
Tyler
them with some
headquarters.
bananas or something.
Yeah, I could roll it over to Tyler headquarters and collect the reward, but
No,
I'm not saying I
surround-
would. I just could.
I surround them with coffee so the dogs can't smell them. I mean, come on. If you're gonna be a smuggler, you gotta know your shit.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take leave of the bar while they're, or of the butt fuckers, Bennigans, wherever the hell we are. And I'm gonna go and acquire from one of Sergey's places, basically a lev
Truck.
thing. Yeah, a truck, effectively.
A grab truck. Okay.
And then I'm gonna go to the safe house
Okay.
and I want to back the truck up to the door or whatever. And I'm gonna go fetch the two people who are still somewhat injured, but I guess are feeling much better now.
Well, so when you get there, I mean, you've never seen these guys before, right? So Dr. Wagner is on his feet. He has some obvious damage.
And
But
I have
he's
seen Dr. Wagner before. He was
Well,
just unconscious the whole time.
I have to assume that Dr. Wagner has got like weird, like dried blood coming down his face and a split in his head, and he's like, "Hi, how's it going?" Whereas Captain Gray is sort of like laying down and, a little bit judged, but he's okay.
So, like I said, I met, quote unquote, Dr. Wagner. He was just unconscious.
Yep.
So, these two guys are the only ones in this safe house. So
Yep.
we need to get them in the back of the truck in a manner that cameras can't see them.
Mhm.
Which, like I said, if you back it directly up to the thing, we
Should be
should be
okay.
able to get them in there okay.
Okay.
Explain to them who I am, and that I'm there to take them to a little dive not far from their ship, and that I'm working ostensibly at this point for Sergey, and I'm trying to help them.
All right. I need from both Gray and Dr. Wagner a DC 15 intellect check that basically is like, do you feel like this guy is telling the truth? Because you guys are on the run, right? And so suddenly this young kid with a pickup truck shows up and says, "Hey, I'm here from your friends. I'm here to pick you up." You guys, I want you guys to sort of do an intellect check to see if you guys believe him.
So I have a seeing through deception.
That would be advantage. So yours that's a step down. That takes it to 12.
Okay. So do a
Well, and if you guys have edge and intellect, you can apply that.
okay.
Which is another step. And the edge you can apply at any time. You don't have to, it's not points, but you can also apply intellect points to make sure that you get the if you want to sort of do things in your favor. The problem with burning points is that you have to get them back, and you may not get them back as quickly as you hope. But if you have edge and intellect, you can use that right away, and that's a step.
What about effort?
Effort is another thing. So effort you can do, and that will also do a step depending on how much you have. But you don't get that back to use again until you get
Until you rest.
Until you
Until
rest.
you rest, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what rest cycle you guys are on.
But basically, I'm just trying. I got to roll a d20 with maybe a +1 and beat a 15 or. I'm
No,
gonna
it would
shoot.
be a D20 with no pluses. But
So
if you use effort, the difficulty goes down from 15 to 12.
right.
And if you use edge, it goes down from 12 to 9.
If your edge is intellect, if you have edge in other
Right.
areas, which I think Captain Gray does, where's your edge at?
It's not an intellect. That's what
It's
I
not
think.
intellect, so you
Okay,
don't have that
so-
option.
But I can
So for-
use intellect.
Yeah,
You
you can
just burn
burn
intellect.
points, right? So if you burn 3 points of intellect, you can get a step back, step down, and make that easier. So you can burn intellect points. So this is the weird thing about Cipher System is that in D&D, your base scores like strength, intelligence, wisdom are sort of set in stone, right? You get your bonuses that are associated with that, and that's it. In Cipher, you can spend those points, those intellect points, those might points, what have you, and you spend them three for step. And what happens is so if you're in this because like I don't know that I can make a 12, so I'm going to burn 3 intellect points, and I'm going to make myself. I'm going to make it a 9, that kind of
Right.
thing. But those intellect points don't come back until they are recovered, and those points are part of your hit points. Basically, you're burning hit points in certain areas to accomplish what you want to do.
Right. Now Mallory has met Dr. Wagner before, right?
No,
Didn't Chuck just say that?
Chuck's
Chuck said
Bishop.
yeah.
Bishop
he
has
met-
met him.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Bishop, sorry, Bishop.
Chuck is Bishop. Eric is Mallory.
Got it.
Bishop
Yes.
has met him, but when he was at the house, the safe house, at that point, Dr. Wagner was unconscious.
Oh,
Yeah, he
so
was
he
the
doesn't
night
know he
stick.
met him. Okay.
Andrew, that's correct, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think it's when everyone left that I resuscitated myself.
Yeah, it was after
And-
those guys left.
And
I
so
think so,
if we
yeah.
don't make this roll,
Yeah.
what happens?
Well, you have some very strong suspicions about who this guy is and where he comes from.
But we might still go with him.
Well, that's your call.
Let me, so I've got an edge and intellect, and I've got the detecting deception. So that 20 + 2.
So yeah, your detecting deception you can apply, and that's an extra step. So we start at 15. You apply your edge, that's 12. You apply before you apply intellect, you apply your detecting deception skill, which brings that down to 9.
Okay.
All right. But Captain Gray may not have those kind of options.
I don't have either of those options, exactly.
So I'm sorry, I forgot how I roll that then.
You just roll, it's a D20.
Okay.
Once you apply your benefits, you roll a D20 and see what happens.
Okay. Oh,
8. All right. So you feel like you remember this guy, but you're not sure under what context. Oh God Almighty. So Bishop, you so okay.
I think I need to reload.
Dr. Wagner, you feel like you remember this guy from somewhere, but he's talking to all kinds of shit like you got to come with us, and you're a little reluctant. Captain Gray, you're like, I don't know who this fucking guy is. I'm in a safe house, and suddenly I got some jackass coming here who's telling me I got to follow him. No way.
Yeah, you're gonna have to prove it to me, buddy.
Okay, guys. I got sent over here to get you to the spot where we could try to sneak you on the ship. You want to stay here in a safe house that's only good for another 12 to 24 hours? That's your deal. I don't know. This Weber guy, look, I don't necessarily trust him either. Sergey said
Yeah,
to help
fuck
you
that
guys.
guy.
Sergey said to help you guys. I'm trying to help you guys. You don't want to go? Don't go.
All right. So he said Sergey, he said Weber, he said Gin and Tonic. This gives you another roll.
This gives you
But
context.
still the
clues.
same. Can
Same
I
bonuses.
contact Sergey at all?
Not from here.
Uh,
No, Sergey has said that you guys do not contact him.
You are persona non grata right now.
Are any of Sergey's guys here?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, my rolls are getting worse, not better.
Which means that you are probably finding Bishop to be less believable rather than more believable. Dr. Wagner, what'd you roll? I'm sorry.
13.
13. All right. So Dr. Wagner, after Bishop is like, hey, look, I'm just here, with that kind of stuff. You're like, yeah, classic Weber. You're starting to think, yeah, this guy's for real. I think we should probably go with him. Captain Gray, you are thinking this is a trap. This is a trap. They've found us. They've sussed us out. They're wanting to. They're going to put us in a situation where they're going to kill us because this guy's talking about like we need to go to. Bishop, what are you saying to this guy? He's to this injured man. Are you saying we're going to go to Keith Smitchy's house and then we're going to get you? But it sounds like you're
No.
They're going to
No.
conquer.
Yeah, we're not going to
Bennigan's.
keep, we're not going
Yeah.
to keep to Smitchy's house.
Bennigan's.
We're going to Bennigan's, the dive
Okay.
across from the Gin and Tonic to meet up with Gawker so that we can try to sneak them onto their ship.
I can just see this big red booth where you're all sitting there with like a bunch of empty glasses in front of you, and the waitress keeps coming by. So, are you guys gonna order anything else? Like, we're still looking at the menu.
It's
Can I
like
get-
it's like
Can I
it's,
get
it's like
another
that part.
water?
It's like that part. It's like that moment in Heat where they're paying off Waingro. I want to pay this son of a bitch off and get rid of him. Wagner, you're on board. You're like, this guy seems legit. Gray, you are still dubious.
But the doc's going with him now.
Well, I don't know. Andrew, what do you say? Do you say anything to the captain and say, I think this guy's legit or anything like
Yeah,
that?
I mean, for whatever it's worth, yeah. Yes, I know I'm a little confounded right now, but this guy is, I
Like a
think we
street
know him. Pretty sure we know him.
All right, well,
So-
I can't let him go off on his own anyway, so I'm gonna go, but more as a bodyguard than because I'm convinced he's legit.
All right. So you're just like, all right, I'm going to go with you, but I'm going to keep, my job is to keep Dr. Wagner safe.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, so Bishop, you convince them to leave the safe house. They gather up what meager belongings they have here. There's a couple of guns, a couple of snacks, and they leave. Are you taking them back to that bar or is there another place?
No, at this point, the idea behind getting them in the van is so that they can't be facial recognized. And they should probably both understand that at this point. They're wanted people. I'm going to drive back to the sort of the back alley behind that bar
Mhm.
and pull up so that they can get out of the van and get directly into the back door
Right.
to meet up with people they do know so that they'll feel a little more comfortable.
So the rest of you guys are in this bar and you're sort of waiting around. Mallory, Gawker, Weber. You guys are sort of sitting around, and all of a sudden, from the rear doors, the doors kind of clock open, and you see Captain Gray kind of look around, and he sort of catches your eye, and he's like, "Ugh." And behind him is Dr. Wagner, who is covered with these weird bandages. And he's kind of like got a cloak over himself, kind of like, and he's limping and does not seem well, and kind of come over to you guys, wave him over to the table, and you guys are all six there, sitting there. At which point I'm assuming somebody says, "The fuck happened to you guys?"
Well, I was gonna say, I make a mental note to ask about him later, but not right now because
I'm gonna say,
Well, right. I mean, Gawker, you weren't part of the shootout at
not.
the. Yeah, you weren't at the warehouse. You weren't in the safe house. It's been closing in on 5 days since you've seen these guys. And, to see them walk in, and they're obviously injured. They obviously have problems.
my number one thought is, I'm glad I did not go with them.
It's like,
well, I'd like to point out they had a lot of problems before we went to that event.
yeah, you're thinking I could
Doyle
have
blowing up
signed
the
on
air.
as a pilot for a decent ship.
Yeah.
We were, if you remember, we were so effed up. We were using like a beauty supplies and makeup to make our faces look less
Yeah.
screwed up before we went to our
You guys had some beat upness, yeah.
So
All right.
now everybody's back together.
Everybody's
The
back
gang's
together.
all here.
Another round of
All right.
water, please.
So Mallory, this stuff of yours.
Yeah.
Where is it?
At the I'm sorry, the space bus station where the space buses blast off.
And these people don't know about you yet, right?
Not so much, but this stuff is going to be real useful for the whole group. If we
Yeah,
can.
no. All I'm saying is there's a van out back.
Oh, really? A van?
Well, van, whatever you called it, pickup truck. There's a service vehicle that looks normal when I'm driving it.
Copy that.
So
It's a gravity-based sex machine.
oh, well, there we go.
It's got a unicorn airbrush on the side.
Well,
And a big Willie Johnson, just like Idiocracy on the front bumper. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So
I was thinking 70s sort of vans, like with the fantasy airbrush on the side.
airbrush, and there's a wizard on the back.
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome. So at this point, I think we can probably go get your stuff and get it here.
Yeah.
So that everything is in one place. And then you guys can try to go do whatever it is you need to go do at Fed Boy's house.
okay, interesting.
But then at that point, we're in position to sort of try to get rid of the guards, get everybody snuck onto the ship.
Mhm.
Let me try to do my thing to try to get the ship free, right? And everybody will be there. So I know you don't want to leave your stuff. It's going to be useful. The two of us can probably move pretty freely still. Go get the stuff, get back here, and then you can go do the rest.
Okay. It would be great if I could be wearing my gear when I interview. If we ever get to interview Keachy Smith.
Well, are you talking about wearing
Add another
battle
alias,
armor?
Add another alias.
Yes, he is.
Are you talking about wearing battle armor walking down Cymbeline Station?
Yeah.
That is not how one blends in. I'm just saying, look around. Do you see anybody else wandering around in battle armor?
A good point. A good
I mean, I
point.
get it. You're a Marine. Thank you for your service. But think about what you're doing here, bro.
All right. Copy that.
By the way, this is Weber's disguise here. You like this though? Never see through this.
So we can go to the station and get his stuff.
Yeah.
and get it back here.
Yes. All right. That I'm on board with that plan.
And neither of us have any hangups yet. So
No, you guys are perfectly clean from Cymbeline standpoint. So you can take off in the gravity pickup truck,
Yeah.
go to the storage area and pick up his equipment. And frankly, it's not that much. You talked about it like it was 3 pallets, but it's not that. It's not 3 pallets. It's a couple of. I mean, is there any mass to this?
it's
Well,
a Foot Locker and a sea bag.
Yeah, you know what? Yes. That it's 3 big things. It's a vac suit. It's a body armor, and it's a big gun.
Okay, well, it's, a big shotgun. I mean, you're talking about.
It's three
not a pallet.
Foot Lockers.
Well, the assault shotgun comes with a heavy drum. The drum is big, and
Yeah, it's 3 Foot Lockers.
yeah. So,
Okay.
And
I'm
just because I can't help myself, there's no such thing as an assault shotgun.
well. There is,
Anything that you assault someone with is an assault something. I have an assault hammer. It's just a damn shotgun.
well, it's
I find you're doing assaulting.
I have some assault underwear.
Yes.
Chuck, point taken.
Taken.
I'm reading from the description given me in the cipher system.
Yes, I know. Like I said, I couldn't help myself.
I hear you.
No such thing, but okay.
Hear you.
Aren't all shotguns assault shotguns? Because
It depends.
If you're a
So-
turkey, you probably don't like them very much.
Well, if you're in Illinois,
If you're
anything
a
that
deer,
shoots
you don't like them very much.
anything that shoots a bullet every time you pull the trigger is an assault weapon. So I have an assault shotgun.
We're not discussing Illinois.
It is a great state, other than some of the issues.
Here,
But
here in Texas, it's not an assault anything unless I assault you with it.
Illinois, the
Even
home of
then,
Santa.
you deserved it.
And then you were on my damn property.
Texas law has its own quirks. It's like, I don't know that we can compare Illinois law to Texas law. It's like a whole different book.
I have assault bowling balls. Come in my house and find out. I will throw every damn one of them at you.
Why does it say "do not eat" in this way towards enemy on your bowling ball?
Exactly.
Do not eat. All right. So you guys are all there, and you're essentially as disguised as you're going to get. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before you embark on the next step, which frankly we haven't defined yet? So,
Well, I think initially I need to try and gain access to the cameras in that building.
Yeah.
in that hallway kind of thing,
Yeah.
by his house.
Well, effectively, yes, in the hallway, but I assume that there are going to be outdoor cameras. There's going to be security measures on the whole apartment.
Sure.
My guess is that they'll either be private, if they're local constabulary. That I think would be maybe a little odd, but it's also a building where some high level Fed boy
Sure.
lives, so that might not be weird. So I want to try to hack into all of the cameras.
Okay.
Just initially to see how many of them there are, where they're looking, what they're, that kind of thing. So I can try to plot
All the
out
cameras in that region.
all the cameras in that region.
Okay. All right. Give me all right, hold on. Let me check the DC. All right. I need a DC 15 check from you.
Okay.
On the cameras.
So I'm going to do hack the impossible,
Okay. Which
costs
brings-
me, it costs me intellect points, but it also brings it
way down.
yeah.
Okay.
So that goes down to 14 for my pool. Now, what does that bring it down to?
Hold on,
Right.
I'm checking.
Okay.
Hack the impossible. 2 intellect points. You can persuade. All right. So this happens after you roll, right? So this determines what you can do once you get in, right? So you've burned those 2 intellect points. You're still at a 15 DC to get into the cameras.
Okay.
But once you get into the cameras, this allows you to do a wider variety of stuff to those
Okay,
cameras.
so then use a point of edge
So that brings it down to 12.
and use a point of effort.
That brings it down to 9.
Shit.
Would you roll 8? Jesus
8.
Christ. All right. So you find that as you're trying to push into these cameras, that there is additional additional sort of problems, intercepts that are going in. You suspect this is Tyla stuff, that Tyla has put some interdicts on the cameras around his house. You're pretty sure that if you tried it again, you could get through, but you're worried that you'll set off their alarms. You haven't not set off Tyla alarms yet.
Okay, so then I'm gonna pull out
Okay.
so that I make sure I don't set off their alarms.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Then I'm gonna spend an action for recovery.
Okay. Okay.
Why, that didn't work.
No, that didn't.
Well, let's try that a different way, shall we?
Double brackets.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
single.
yeah. Oh, Jesus. 2
Ouch.
points.
God. So in this case, when it comes to that kind of stuff, you can ask me to roll,
Yes,
and
please.
I can
A
just like
D6
healing.
plus- A D6 plus 1,
All
please.
right, here we go. 4 + 1 is 5.
That's better. So we'll add +4 to this.
That
gives
goes
me-
for everybody. If you get to these sort of like healing style kind of things, you guys can still ask me about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna try again. So it's 2 points, 2 points for hack the impossible.
Okay.
I'm gonna use edge and effort to bring it down to a 9.
Yep.
And then
Do you want to burn additionals?
natty.
Ooh, natural 20. All right.
One go.
All right, so you managed to get there. So you essentially, what you do is you pull back at first and you set in a Tyla block. And so you're blocking Tyla from viewing what you're doing. Then you block into the cameras, you go in and you check it out. The hallway is empty. I mean,
Okay.
you see, you watch for a little bit and you see various people kind of like in and out. It's actually quite a upscale area. So
Yeah.
the people that you see are sort of like upscale looking, but you focus in on Smitchy's doorway and nobody comes in or out. You can also see that there is, so if you look at these doors, they have these sort of locking mechanisms that have various kind of ways to undo them. You know, sometimes they're lace activated, sometimes they're things, a lot of it is. This one has a physical barrier on it that you can see is emanating an electromagnetic field that blocks computer shit from getting into that thing. It's just, and it's basically Tyler's kind of way of saying we're going to block this off. It's essentially a like the yellow tape
Right.
that says don't go in here. You don't see any people. What you do see is a small drone down on the floor that looks largely like a small Roomba, maybe the
Right.
size of a dinner plate, and it's just sitting there. But you can tell from where you're looking that it has multiple sensors pointed at the door, and it's just sitting there.
Okay,
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
okay.
Multiple sensors.
Yeah, so I think on a 20. Come on. I can immediately take a second action. So I may try to take control of the Roomba,
Awesome.
but I don't know if that's, that shouldn't be a second roll. I don't know if that should be a second roll. I shouldn't say it that way. With the 20, I think I might be able to do that without using this hack roll.
I see this is gonna be a problem as all of us get older. There's gonna be a lot more bathroom breaks. We're gonna have to really cut into the game suspense.
Okay.
Okay, so with a natural 20.
Yep.
I get a second action.
Yep.
Does that second action use the same hacker roll, or do I need to roll separately?
No, it uses the same. What do you want to learn?
I want to take control of the Roomba.
Give me a second roll. That would require a second roll.
Well, no, that's bullshit.
No, I'm the GM. I can make the rules.
Well, okay, but now I all right, let's
What
see.
this does is give you, so the 20 gives you access to the Roomba. So you can see, I mean, you could see it. It's in your computer system, which you would normally not otherwise see.
Okay, so I can use edge. And what's the difficulty at this point?
Difficulty on this with already in there is like a DC 15.
Okay, so I can use edge again.
Takes it down to 12.
I can use 3 points of intellect.
Mm-hmm. Are you keeping track of the intellect that you burn?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
because you're getting stupider.
well, no, I have 13.
Idiocracy all over again.
I have 13 points still
Okay. All right. Good.
because I
Still?
rested.
Okay,
Oh yeah, I started at 20.
okay.
But now you're starting to think crypto is a good investment. So
Yes.
and then,
Got it. Okay. So yes, you make some tentative overtures computeradically, if that's a word, to the Roomba, and it is receptive.
Okay.
in a careless
sees-
whisper sort of way.
It sees you, and so in this case, it is a Tyler Roomba, but it is sort of been given, so you can tell that it has been given orders to basically say, watch this thing. If anything stupid happens, let us know. And it's been just sit there. So it's largely a disc with a bunch of sensory apparatus assigned to it.
Right. So I'm going to tell these two, if you're going to go now. I can fiddle with the camera so you're not seen, and the room in front of the door won't notice you either.
Sounds like a plan.
Because now I effectively control all of those, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm not
Am I one
going
of
to,
these two.
well, no, initially it was going to be Matt and Eric. So Mallory and Weber that were going to go and talk to this guy.
Okay.
Now you're here. I don't know how injured you still are. If you're going too, the only problem with any of that is Mallory doesn't have a face that's on alert. Weber can do his hidey hole, his disguise thing. I brought you here in a truck because if you walk outside and one of those scanners hits
Oh
you,
yeah,
they're on your ass.
I'm easy to spot. I'm not badly wounded. The bulk of my damage was to my arm, and it's completely healed.
Yeah.
I'm just slightly. I got like 1 or 2 points. I think is all I've
Yeah.
got left.
So the problem is your facial recognition. So those two can
Oh, yeah.
can get out and move around without.
And the
drawing
only
any
reason for me to
attention.
go, like I said before, would be for me to kill him. I'm not a smooth talker.
Not
Well,
yet.
we don't know who else is at the location, so you
Yeah.
might be the
So the rest of this plan is up to you guys. I told you I could probably capture the cameras and get rid of this Roomba I didn't know existed, but it's gone now or effectively nullified. So
Just,
Well, so yeah, so sorry, go ahead, Eric.
I'm sorry. Just to be clear, are we going to invite Skeevy Kent to come with us, or to?
invite is an awful generous word.
add another
we're gonna
AKA
have-
Skeevy Kent.
Or are we gonna
That's
muscle
my
him?
middle name.
Key
I
of
mean,
many doors.
do we want this guy on the Gin and Tonic? Do we make him an offer he can't? We
Refuse, but
refuse, or do we just? I mean, Mallory would like to punch him a lot, but again, Mallory is not a cold-hearted killer.
Not yet. Hanging out with these guys makes that change though. Saw what Coffin did. Coffin was like a one-armed psycho, killing cordyceps and dropping bombs on people.
Coffin, Coffin had a rough childhood.
Oh, must have been.
People 50 years from now, people are going to be looking back at that. Coffin Doyle, that motherfucker died.
Yeah. He went out in a Bon Jovi blaze of glory.
Man. All right. Well, so wait, what is our intention with God? Kichi? Kichi.
Yeah, Kimchi Smith. That's
God,
his name.
God, oh my God.
Kimchi.
Keith Smitchy.
Oh my God.
I'm going to send you an email.
AKA, yeah, Carlisle Smoothie.
I'm sorry.
If I was Keith Smitchy, I'd be offended.
Like his rap sheet's getting longer by the second when they have to print it up. All these
This ex-Marine keeps fucking up my name.
Seriously, what I want to go in with a solid plan about what to do with the guy.
You're with the wrong group.
Before you guys go there, I just want to say, as a GM, I want to say that the fact that I came up with the name Keith Smitchy was freaking inspired now, because it's ruining shit for people all over the place, and I just want to say that as a DM, I'm just proud of myself for doing that. Anyway, carry on.
Go ahead.
So here's what we wanted to do, as I see it.
Yep.
He's got two things we want. One, more information that we weren't able to get out of him when we were pounding on him in his office. When I say we, I mean Captain Black. And two, maybe additional data that ties all this together, why everybody's going to such trouble to take us humble merchants down a peg or two, because it seems like a lot of time and effort expended to knock us off our game. I know we've been annoying these bear folks.
Let's look at the actions of the humble merchants.
Yeah. Just out here plying our trade, just moving cargo from point A to point B when
Slaughtering people.
Yeah.
Out there, Emix is like, where's my part of the crew?
And maybe he's got something else we can use there. There might be something. He's a Tyler agent. Just think of it this way: he might have even now some sort of way to call off the dogs that are hanging around our ship, or he might know a guy that we don't know.
Possible. Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping here.
He's a Tyler guy, and he's a senior. I mean, let's be honest. Cymbeline is not one of the most important places on Tyler's registry, but he was a system lead. That's important.
Let's grab him and say, if you don't call off your guys, we're gonna chop off.
We're gonna force you into our crew.
Yeah, that'll fix him.
Kill me now.
Oh no.
No, anything but that.
Or we're gonna make you eat my
shorts. Sorry, I had a Bart Simpson moment there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Cowabunga. That was good. I guess Les has learned how to cast greater invisibility, because every time I look up, he's disappearing from frame.
No, I keep going over to my refrigerator to make additional drinks.
I
haven't had a drink in a week and a half, so
it is the number one reason to go out of frame.
I'm ready.
I just
I
thought
haven't had a drink
your
yet.
bladder's getting
Like,
older.
what is this? This is a whole bottle of vodka in the freezer? Yeah, let's go.
Wow.
Sorry.
You know, tomorrow Tuesday I'm gonna be in the city in New York City with Brad Nealon.
Hey, I talked to Brad the other day.
Yeah, we'll have to catch up. But I'm like, he's
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
can't you stay longer? We're gonna party all night. I'm like, I
Tell,
don't think
tell
so.
him I said hi.
I will.
You
I'll
don't,
say
you don't know
Don
Brad.
says,
He don't know me. I don't know him,
you,
but
you feel like you know him after hearing our stories, right?
yeah.
Our team is going to see Google's finance. You know, it's not a good week to be in to find fintech as banks collapse around us.
Right.
All right,
Exactly.
like run for the hills. That's what we're gonna hear at the ACE conference.
Oh God.
Put it all in SpaghettiOs.
It's like people arguing. It's like this tiny slice of the shit show is my slice, and I'm guarding it as diligently as I can. That's what Matt and I are dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so so that's the plan. I think we go in, we kick in the door. You know, the same thing we always do in any adventure. Just maybe not kill everybody before we take their stuff.
All right, so Bishop has said that he's basically got control of the cameras in the hallway, and he's got control to a certain extent of the Roomba that is essentially a sensory Roomba that's pointed at the door. So he can turn that off or turn it away or whatever, which means that you guys can probably get to the door without being seen.
Okay. So and Chuck, do you have any idea on the door? Was there sensors on the door? Or is it like
Yeah, the door's locked and it's capped. So
Yeah, it's got a cap on it.
you're gonna have to either knock on the door, try to get him to open it, bust the door down, or give me a minute and I can maybe try and get that too. But
I would like to say that give it a chance because I mean our whole plan could fall to shit if we're like trying to bang down a door here. You know, like
I was just thinking.
I was
You mean like with a fire axe or something like that?
Well, I was use Captain Black as a can opener here with his,
well,
his
you
laser
will
arm.
say you've got guns, so a door shouldn't be all that big a problem.
This is where Mallory tells us he's got a secret thing of plastique that he carries around at all times. He just like wires the door with 8 grams of it.
He's got det cord, runs it up one side and down the other, blows the whole door frame out.
Yeah, pulls the whole door frame out into the entire condo.
He follows it up with a welding laser that is like on a strap. Here, I'll be just a minute.
I don't know what kind of shit he just got out of that
Yeah.
locker.
Yeah, who knows?
He's the new guy in the crew. You never know what the new guy in the crew is gonna do.
Well,
All
when
right.
that new guy's Eric, you gotta worry a little, just a teensiest bit.
So
He's a changed man.
Really?
now,
Oh,
I
I'm
don't-
sure.
So I have, at this point, I just want to understand something. I have
Sure.
control of the cameras in the building and in the hallway, right?
In the hallway, you haven't. It's not like the huge building. It's like the hallway, that
Okay.
kind of thing. So
And then-
probably
and then-
100 yards with the cameras.
Yeah, then I have control of this bot.
Yep.
Am I able, with having sort of understanding computers, right? You have control, you've hacked in whatever.
Mhm.
Am I able to rest again?
Sure, you could set aside the control mechanisms for those particular things. Where if you need to like physically rest, you just basically say, if anything happens, let me know, and alerts go off.
Okay. Because I'm assuming at this point, it's gonna take them, whatever, 5+ minutes to get to this apartment.
Oh.
You said it,
To get there, yeah, probably closer to 20 minutes.
okay, 'cause
And
you
when they
said-
get there, I'm thinking 30 to 50 minutes to figure out what they want to do.
Okay, so if you guys are gonna go and check this place out and try to get a hold of this guy, wring his neck, whatever, get started on that. And then once they go, I'm just gonna hold control over the systems I have control over and do the 10-minute rest, so I have my edge and stuff back.
That's fine.
Okay.
Guys,
Hmm.
what do you want to do?
So
Let's go.
So who's going? First of all,
That was my question
I'm
too.
going.
I've got Mallory and Weber are looking to go right up to the front door.
Yeah, I'm saying that anybody else wants to come. I was volunteering Captain if he wants to come, but he doesn't have to. And then I
I
was
don't
thinking.
think it would be bright for me to come.
All right. And
Les,
then
can you roll again? Can you roll for me?
Sure. The
Andrew, you're the
six-sided?
most, you're the one I
6
think
plus one.
we should be trying to protect the most because we got that crazy.
Plus
chick,
one, that's 7. Nice, thank you.
You're welcome.
This irritated chick stomping around a station somewhere, perhaps.
So yeah,
You don't know
Doc
that
should probably
you don't
stay
know
with
that
me.
she's here yet.
We don't know if she's here yet. But it occurs to me if not to, overtax Chuck's powers, but maybe he could throw a facial scan out there for her to see where she pops up.
So who all is going to the door of Steve Smitchy's
Yeah.
house?
Me, I mean, he's got to be getting food somehow, right?
Weber, Mallory, who else? I know Bishop's not.
Gawker.
I'm with Bishop.
Gawker's with Bishop. Okay. Anybody else? Wagner? Captain
Yeah,
Gray?
I don't think I'm gonna do
Captain
anything.
Gray's
risky.
staying with Wagner and we're staying out of this.
I'll go.
Andrew, did you say that you were going with?
No, I,
Hanging back. So just Mallory and Weber.
Tam, why aren't you going? You could even disguise yourself as somebody.
You want me to, do you want a third person? I'll go.
Even if it's just a person who runs away if things go bad and lets us know so we can go and rescue them.
I'm your man.
Okay. All right. So you guys make your way down the hallway. You could hear sort of Bishop on the sideline going, yeah, I've got this, you guys are not seeing. You get to the door where you can see that there is like a weird sort of drone robot Roomba looking thing with a big kind of carapace on it that has a bunch of different sensors on it. There's a moment where it kind of like goes and looks at you, and then sort of retreats back against the wall. You find yourselves in front of a door. It's an apartment door, that kind of stuff. There's a couple of windows on either side, but they're blocked up. And the nameplate on the door says Smitchy 405. And that's it. What do you guys do?
Maybe
Uh,
you should ring the bell, Mallory, or whatever. Well, let's first see. Did Chuck say he could not unlock the door, or I think that's where we left off. He was gonna see if he could unlock the door.
Yeah.
And if not, then I guess maybe Mallory can say Candygram, and I'll stand off to the side.
All right. Can
Candygram for Mr. Mongo.
Mr. Hawk unlock that door?
Well, he's not at his desk at the.
Well, I don't know.
He has full control, he said.
Well, full control is different. So he has control over the cameras in the hallway and the Roomba that is looking at the door, but he does not have full control over the door itself.
Computer check?
What now?
What
Can
do
you
what do we
open the
need
door,
to
they
open the door? What kind of check?
So opening the door is so it's got a variety of brackets on it, including a Tyler bracket. It is a DC 21 to pass through the door and a DC 25 to pass without notification to Tyler.
Let's see. Jeez,
It's not easy.
it's gracious.
Bishop can pick. I mean, you guys might be able to do it from here, but Bishop is really the guy to do it.
Okay.
We'll give Bishop a chance, and then maybe ring the bell.
Yeah.
So they're at the door to this guy's apartment?
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to get the lights here.
yeah,
Hold on a second.
The cameras are dealt with. And the Roomba thing's dealt with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Roomba thing is just a sensor
Well, so the thing on his doorway is sort of a block, right? So he's got his regular sort of like key card access thing, but basically they have a physical unit that they stick on there to enforce the the house arrest.
Right, the lockout.
Right, it's a physical unit. It's like a you remember those things that you used to put on tires years ago when they
The
when-
boot.
Yeah.
the boot. It's kind of like a boot. It's obviously something that they've stuck on afterwards. Certainly something that could be gimmicked. You could theoretically do it.
Do they not use the boot anymore?
I think
Not
they
on
still do.
doors to people's houses.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So now the Roomba thing that I have control of, does that have, I realize it's mostly sensors and security. Does it have any backdoor into that boot that could be
Mm-mm.
exploited?
No, the boot is aftermarket. You could probably get in there, but the problem is it's a Tyler machine and it's pretty difficult. The DC is 21 to pass through it, to take it off and pass through it. DC is 25 to pass through it without being detected.
Man. Whew, that's tough.
Okay. So I got everything back with that last roll. Thank you.
Okay.
So let's see.
Can you guys see that hallway?
No, I can only see black.
I see just the top two squares.
Yeah, I see the top hallway here.
All right, hold on. Oh, go on. What you guys are thinking? Go ahead.
So is there like a window or something you can exploit?
There's two windows. They are on either side of the door, but they seem to be covered by what look to you from your from
Newspapers.
from your thing. They look to be covered with metallic, sort of corrugated metallic shutters that the pull down kind.
The blinds.
Okay, well, at this point, I can try to hack through the door. It's gonna be kind of a Herculean effort. And the only problem with that is I'm now to the point where it's gonna take an hour for me to rest and get my stuff back.
Right.
And in theory, once you guys get finished with this, I'm gonna need to try to get the security people away from your ship, get into your ship, unleash your AI.
Yeah, we
and
put a lot on
unclamp-
you. We put a lot on you,
unclamp
so.
the ship. So, I mean, if you need me to try to do this, I can try it. No guarantees. If there's not a physical way for you to overcome it.
You know,
Well, let's take a look at the door. I mean, we're not total morons here, so maybe we could take a look at the old door here. Yeah, I shouldn't have jinxed myself by saying that. We're not total morons in there.
the total.
Roll a one.
90%.
um, Les, is there a window at the end of the hallway that maybe looks out onto the street or something?
No, it's not like that. It locked. I mean, you're in a space station, so there's no real streets from that point of view.
Got
But
it.
it sort of looks out. The thing about the windows is there has definitely been some sort of metallic corrugated sort of pull down sort of
Security
protective
shutters.
things. Yeah, security shutters that have been done.
Okay.
God damn it.
Sorry.
Is there, would I happen to know, can I check my space watch and see if there are any local nearby what I need is a brothel and a but
I like where this is going.
bakery.
A
What do you
brothel and a
need?
bakery.
brothel?
Oh no, there's nothing. This is all residential down this way.
Oh, all right, all right, fine.
Are you looking for a singing telegram, strippergram? Is that what you're going with, a bakery?
Similar, you know, I wanted a really well well disposed professional lady with a plate of cupcakes knocking on the door.
I like the way you think, sir.
You know, I was
Like, let's just side quest on this right now. Let's just workshop. it
There
out.
we go.
Yeah,
All right,
let's
all
go
right.
on.
Finally, I get there.
It still doesn't show up on mine.
all right.
I can see it on your shared screen.
Okay, see on the share screen.
It's
It's like downloading like a dot matrix, like a
Yeah.
what else you do? One line at a time.
I get now I get 2.5 squares.
Okay.
That's weird.
All right, so
Oh, look, it's brightly lit.
I say if he
Stop it.
he can
I see it better now. Yep.
Oh, wait, you know what? The door's shut.
No, now I don't.
I see it fine because
Okay.
I see it.
Well, stop seeing it. All right. So you got to. You've got. I'm still working with Roll20 here, so we'll make it work.
I attack the plant creature here.
Stop it. All right. So you guys are standing in front of a door that's right here. It's 3 squares wide.
Yep.
On either side
There's a
is
window.
a window, and I mentioned earlier those windows have these like,
Shutters.
these shutters pulled down, these corrugated metal shutters, which you cannot see into. The door
Yeah, okay.
itself is a standard door, but of course they are. So Eric, yes, there are many brothels and bakeries here. You've been availing yourself of them for a while, but this is a residential area, which means
just
if you're going to
muster it
attack,
out,
if you're going to attack this guy's house, you probably have to walk 10 to 20 minutes to get to a brothel, and then you got another. Depending on how old you are, probably 10 to 20 minutes before you're done there, and then back to the thing. So you're talking about a 40-minute back and forth there, and that's if you've brought chemical help, frankly. But
what you want is a brothel bakery. I mean, sure they got to find the combo, the right, Johnny Cupcakes or something that they.
it's a
Sound like
new
a
reason
Walmart
for a
brothel.
baguette.
Just side note here. When I was 21, one of my older friends, his friends,
Wait.
took me to a strip club.
Do we want to hear this story?
Oh, because
Is this going to ruin bread for us?
No, I was just
Okay,
saying
go
that we went in. And they like, you gotta come. It's gonna be great, man. It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So like, I go in, and it's apparently an all-you-can-eat buffet. So what I remember
do.
is seeing my friends all like, watching the show, just eating the food, disgusting food. And I was like, to this day, I can't think of those two things in combination without retching a little bit in my mouth.
I got to be honest with you. There was a place in Centerville, the strip club, that used to have a steak lunch special, and they would put together like, I never went there, but
Yeah.
let me just
But,
put
yeah,
that right here.
on
Let
my
me
way-
put that thing.
Bullshit.
Yeah, as you were
But
leaving
but-
from church,
I read the things. They were talking about 12 to 16 ounce steaks for like $8 going in here, and I was like, that's a hell of a steak for $8. We may need to go to this place. And everyone was like, oh no, we can't possibly go, there's nudity. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's like sauce, but I don't know.
You're like, I'll take the hit just to get a good steak, a good cheap
Yeah.
steak.
I know, right? $8 steak. Who knows what's happening there? All right, so you guys end up in front of this door. It's 15, largely 8 meters across. It's got a thing on the gate. So there is the thing that lets you in, where it's like a card activated kind of thing, like in a hotel kind of stuff. And there's literally a physical kind of clamp sort of over the top of this lock that is sitting there. You see the windows on either side, which are the corrugated sort of metal, that kind of thing. But other than that, the Roomba is sort of off to the thing. The cameras are pointed at the walls. You could look at them and see them. It looks like Bishop is doing his job. What do you guys do?
This is Operation Sergeant Schultz. I know nothing. I see nothing. Thanks, Roomba.
I mean, I'm ready to do a real big bluff to get him to open the door. But
Real quick, does this thing? You say there's a big lock on top of his lock. Basically, he's Denver booted in.
Yeah, basically what you have is his standard locking mechanism, which is usually card based. And then over the top of that, they have planted a large sort of locking system that's, in 4 places is like locked to his door. This is essentially the house arrest kind of like, we will keep you here kind of thing. But it's big. It's like a big crab that they put on
Yeah.
top of his lock.
So he may not even be able to open the door if he wanted
Right.
to.
Your
won't be able to
guess
get
is
his
that
fingerprint.
he may be able to open the door, but he personally can't go out because a lot of what this crab has, the crab on top of it, is sensory apparatus.
I see.
All right,
geez,
so that's going to be a problem for said plan if without Chuck's intervention. He's got a lot of things to do. He's got to free our ship.
We're putting a lot on Chuck.
Well, there's another way we could do it. We could just, as soon as he opens the door, we just pull him through it, crab or no crab. And and then drag his ass kicking and screaming back to the ship. But I don't see how that's going to go well for us either.
That or no, we can't. No,
But it tells us he doesn't have a bunch of goons inside probably because
right.
goons won't be tromping in and out of here. This has got a goon express doorway somewhere else that we're not seeing.
Geez, kind of stuck here.
Well, we go with plan B, which is where we just kick in the door and do our usual.
Or you could just knock.
What?
Well,
Right.
Who let this guy in the crew? All right. Talking logic. I'm the one who's talking logic on his crew before you got here. Now you're making me sound crazy. All right.
wait, okay, Les, I'm sorry. Can if Skeevy Hoochie opens the door.
Skeevy Hoochie? Is that what you just said?
Yes, yes. Add that to the aliases.
Could we? I'm sorry. Keeve, if Keeve opens the door, could we grab him and yank him through?
Sure, why not?
Can we get Snoochie Boochies? Okay.
I mean, I'm just not sure of the extent of the extent of the arms of the apparatus attached over his lock on his door.
Well, so the thing on the lock is just like a sort of like a crab shaped device. It's definitely just over the lock.
All right.
And
You
your
have
guess
any-
is that it's to keep people from like randomly wandering in or to a large extent wandering out.
Okay. But okay, I mean, couldn't Keeve, if he opened his own door, just hop through?
Well, yeah, theoretically, but the reality is he's probably got neural lace of his own, which he's using. And if he hops through that door, they're going to be on him like stink on a monkey.
Yeah,
So
it's the sensors
Yeah.
of him trying to leave. That are
Everything that you
problematic.
guys have seen. Yeah. I mean, I think,
Right.
he makes a great point. Everything that you guys have seen so far is all sensor based.
Got it. If we disable the crab thing on
Sorry, Chuck.
the door, does the crab thing look like it has some vulnerable points?
Well, that would require a intellect check.
Do I have
Or
to roll dice now?
yeah, so an intellect check. So your intellect's if it's your primary thing, we're talking about a DC 18 check here. So
Okay.
you need to look at what you have from the point of view of can I can I figure this out?
Well,
And see if there's a opportunity there.
Mallory Graves' three character traits are actually all kind of low. I'm not even sure why he's, but and intellect especially is not his forte. So I could try it, but I'm probably gonna fail.
All right, so you don't get any edge there. You got 80 intellect points, which you can burn. Perception, speed, defense, intellect, defense is
Just before he does it, isn't Gawker here? John, are you here?
Yeah,
Don't you have a significant amount of computer skills being our navigator and whatnot?
I'm trained in it. I'm okay with it.
So I'm just saying, Mallory, before you try, maybe Mehmet Tam, the humble space navigator, could try it out.
So Les, is it a D20 plus 2 with trained, or what is it with trained?
well, what are you trying to do? Like exactly.
Jimmy the lock.
Without triggering,
Remotely?
without getting
No,
ADP
he's
to
there.
show up.
I'm right here.
All right, so you're gonna try and tweak that freaking lock. Okay, so okay, that would be an intellect check, and any particular skills or efforts you want to deliver onto that, you can. So I mentioned earlier that this is 21.
I think mostly we just wanted that whether we kicked down this door or able to open it up just fine.
Actually,
want
I mentioned
ADP
this is
to show
21 to pass and a 25 to pass without passing information to Tyler.
Okay, so being trained in computers, I get a +2.
No, well,
That's usually
yes.
like with a die 6, though, isn't it?
Right. So yeah, all right. So you get a +3 actually.
+3.
It's a
Okay.
step. So it goes from 21 to 18.
Okay. So one of the things I have is hacker. If I spend
Okay.
2 intellect points, I gain quick access to a desired bit of information in a computer or similar device.
Okay. Information. Not necessarily helps you here, but you can get
Okay.
information.
Or you access one of its primary functions.
Okay.
A
Well,
primary function would be
that's
here.
different. Do you want to burn those points to do that?
I will burn 2 intellect points,
Okay.
and that is blue.
Okay.
Is that blue, right?
Blue.
Of the red, green, blue. On our
Oh no,
stat bars.
Shit, stat bars.
OG Biv, what?
Sorry. Hold on a second. It will be what did you say you were burning? Intellect?
Intellect.
That's red.
Okay.
Okay. And
Hold on. Okay, so I burned 2 intellect points.
gotcha. Which
I've got
brings us
+3
down.
for this. Now, what is the burning 2 intellect points for hacker get me?
That gives you it drops 2 steps. So you were at N 12.
I was 1 with computers trained. 2 more. I should be dropping 3 completely then.
Right. So you're at
So 21 minus 12.
you're at
I'm at 9.
6.
6.
6.
Okay, you ready?
Do it.
Do it.
Come on,
I
4.
clicked in it.
Come on, it's gonna be a 4.
Do it. Do it.
Shit. All right. So what were you trying to do here?
Get in
To get
without
into
setting
the
off any alarms, and just open that door quickly.
all right. So in this case, you were able to Those of you who are
Succeed.
so Mehmet sort of reaches out and he's got some tools. He's like tweaking on it, and then all of a sudden it like falls off. And even Mehmet is like, "Oh shit, what have I done?" And you guys wait like there's this 10-second gap where you guys are like, "Oh shit," and you're waiting for the alarms to go off, but they don't go off.
Nice work, Mehmet.
The crab-like thing is on the ground at Mehmet's feet. And the rest of you are sort of like looking at each other like, what do we do next?
Is the door still locked?
Still, well, it's still closed, certainly.
Okay. Can I try the handle?
Yes. You reach
Okay.
out, you try the handle, and you give it a like a, and nothing. It does not open.
It's locked.
Door's still locked.
We both look at Mehmet again. Only
Uh,
half, the job's only half finished here, hacker man.
Okay. Is this another
Okay.
computer check?
You don't burn the intellect.
This would be more a dex check. So,
Speed?
yeah, speed check. Unless you just, well, that's up to you. You could try to finesse it, or you could try to just like break it. In which case, it would be a might check.
Yeah, I'm better at finesse.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my edge. I've got one edge in speed.
Okay.
So what do I need to roll?
12 or better. You're breaking it? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So Gawker reaches out, grabs hold of the thing, and is like, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Got it. Do you open the door? You just
I
like
open the
swing
door.
it open? All right.
Yep.
So you
Tell
swing
them
it
to
open.
get in there. Go, 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 go.
I go.
You
Okay.
have no idea what's gonna be happening in there. Get in there.
All right. Hold on. All right. Mallory runs in. Weber, what about you?
Nice place.
What did I have to do? I'm sorry. I was drifting off.
Get in there.
Oh, I'm coming on in. Sorry. Yeah,
Shoot anyone. No.
Yeah,
Tam, what are you doing?
my gun is
Waiting
out.
for those two to go in and then I'll follow.
My gun
Okay.
is out right there.
All right, so Tam, you go in. All right, so Mallory, Weber, you guys step into the room and you find yourselves in a fairly fancy sort of apartment. Keith Smitchy, who you immediately recognize, is over to the left. He's sitting in a big chair and in front of a bank of monitors, and he's tapping away. And he sort of turns away and he goes. He looks at you guys, and you can see that at first he's a little surprised. So his eyes kind of wide open, and he like takes a big breath and sort of looks at his desk and sort of pushes away. He's like, I knew you'd be coming for me. I knew you'd be coming for me. It's now the time. It's now the time that you've come to execute me on behalf of Tyler. I knew you would. I knew you would. Assassins.
This is where
Go on, do your worst.
beef snitchy goes down. All right, snitchy. Why don't we talk here for a minute before anything ugly happens?
I have nothing to say to you, the likes of you.
Really?
You've done what you've done, and I did what I did. So if you come here to put a bullet in my brain, well, be on with it.
As the Tyler officer, I commend you for your purposes, and I understand that that there must be a law in the galaxy. That's fine. It's your extracurricular work we want to talk to you about, because Big Grizz and us, we aren't friends.
I knew you were watching those messages. Those bastards in Greenbird. I knew they would betray me. I knew that I was the low man on the totem pole. And that my ass would be thrown to the wolves as soon as they could make it happen. I took my money. Yes, I did. I did. And I don't regret it. Working for Tyler is a horrible, selfless act. but I did what I did. All right, then. Bring your worst. He sits
Well.
back in his chair. I think what you're aiming for is right here. Take it and be gone.
I
He
see
looks
something.
over to the side.
You don't see this kind of, I'm gonna make small talk about it. I mean, honestly, I know my share of bureaucrats. You don't really see this kind of spine in bureaucrats a lot. I mean, guys
Suck
like
my
you,
balls, you big bullshit artist.
usually they're spineless jellyfish, but I
Perhaps you'd like to munch on 100% of my taint.
Boy.
No,
Weber Jix, I know your name and your history. You have sucked many taints in the past. Perhaps you'd like to suck mine.
Hey, I was young. I needed the money, Keeve. Chill out.
All right. I'm
And you, Mallory Graves, you piece of human garbage.
gotta go. I
How
got,
does he know?
gotta
How
go
does he
get my
know
kid.
Mallory
Yeah,
Graves? Okay. Well, you're
I
lucky
know
Mallory Graves-
everyone.
You're lucky Mallory Graves had to go put his kid to bed because he's good friends with our deceased partner.
There are no friends in space. You have made terrible mistakes, all of you. You have assumed that no one amongst the stars will betray you. I was happy to betray you for money. I knew you not, and I didn't care. Scum. You're a bunch of freeloading scum.
Look, Skeevy Hoochie, whatever. You,
Oh,
you
Skeevy Hoochie.
look-
That's what Mallory calls me. Oh, I know. You guys get a great laugh out of that. That's fine. You're about to kill me. I don't care. Send me to my grave. I don't care.
this feels awfully Shakespearean, doesn't it? Like I feel like he's playing to another audience. It's not us.
If it's Shakespearean to tell you to suck a butt, then Shakespearean it is.
Why are you so? Why are you? You know, if you did it for the money, why are you so?
I did it.
Couple off the plane.
It's true. I did it for the money. I did it for the money. I didn't care whether it was bears or vegans or Vargas. I didn't care. I was willing to sacrifice everything that I knew for the money
I mean, corrupt
because of the girl.
bureaucrats are so. Because of the what
It was-
girl?
It was because of that woman that I loved. She was something that I couldn't even explain. I met her so many years ago, and I couldn't tell you. It was like my life changed. My life changed. You have to understand where I come from. Everything that I considered to be right and good and reasonable was thrown to the wayside. And everything that she asked me to do, I could not resist. So yes, you may see me as a corrupt bureaucrat, somebody who has used the power of my position to inflict pain and agony on those who are powerless. And that'd be true. I've done all that.
That was just your
Many-
professional capacity. Yeah.
Many times, and to my enjoyment. But when it came to her, there was some things that I could not deny. And when she asked me to ruin you, that is what I must do.
Now
So
we get to the
kill
heart.
me. Kill me today,
So your
if you
little,
must.
your paramour.
I look towards oblivion with glee. I look to you and I say, give me your bullet, Weber Jix. I see it in your body pistol that you have secreted near your genitals.
No, I'm holding it right to his face.
No, your genitals. That's the one I see.
Okay, yeah, crazy.
Okay.
Always
can you
wish
be quiet
to
for a second? Can I
see
confer with my
that.
colleagues? Can you just rest your trap there, Mr. Smitchy? So
I cannot. This is the last thing that I must say. And I have seen the body pistol near your genitals, and I must say, there's nothing I can do to erase that from my memory.
All right. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh,
So
dear.
I'm guessing the woman that his paramour is the our arch enemy lady. What's her name?
Shamira.
Are you talking
So
about Shamira? No.
yes,
No, you're wrong. There is another.
there's
Shamira.
another. There's a Princess Leia out there. There is another.
Shamira. Shamira, I know, and she frightens me. She frightens me
She should.
as
She
if
frightens me.
every time I'm in the same room with her, my butthole slams shut audibly.
All right. So who
As she
is?
hears this, it tells me that my butthole has slammed shut, and I cannot deny it.
You know, I'm.
But there is another. There's another woman
Well,
that
Keith,
I've given my life to. Shoot me now, because I cannot tell you anything.
Keith, I have a couple ex-wives, but we're in pretty cordial terms. So I'm not sure where what woman has it out for us that you're.
Cordial, cordial. I would see you dead. As
Sorry, what was
all of the people I've ever worked with, I would see dead. You seem
Yeah, your secretary doesn't
reasonable.
seem fond of you.
But frankly, I've been a bureaucrat for many years, and everyone I've ever dealt with as a part of Tyler, I wanted to murder.
Well, that I think we.
And some of them I did. I'm not ashamed to admit it now. I murdered them.
Are we getting us on tape? We can use this later.
No, none of this is on tape. I've stopped the recording.
Well, I mean,
You come to me now and you say that you want me to tell you everything. There's only one thing that could coach me into telling you everything. Everything that I've done, every crime that I've committed, everything that I have forfeited in the name of money and power. And that is to help me escape from Cymbeline. Help me to leave this place. If you take me from this place, I will tell you everything.
You know,
I will tell you everything, Eric.
if you,
Just take him.
you know, Hoochie the bears are gonna boil you in acid.
I know.
You don't come
I
with
know.
us and tell us everything you know.
I know what the Bears are doing. I know what they have decided to do.
Well, the bears delight.
And I will tell you this and make it available to you. If only you will save me from what horrifying fate they have devised for me. I've worked for them for so long. I've trusted, they have trusted me to betray that trust.
all right. Well,
Provoke
Keith,
them to
I think
horrifying tortures I can't even think.
what is it? What is the whiskey we got on board? The Pappy Van Winkle.
I've been drinking so much whiskey.
What is the good stuff we got?
Oh, the Toothpick whiskey?
The Toothpick whiskey.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Keith, I got a bottle or two of Toothpick back on the ship. Maybe we could have this conversation. However, for us to take you elsewhere, we need your help to release us from the station. Maybe you can call off some of the dogs that are Tyler agent dogs that are hanging around our ship.
You know that I am under house arrest, that I am under interdiction from Tyler. Tyler wishes to take me back to Prometheus and put me
Yes.
and
But I
face the
know-
magistrate, which I will lose. The evidence
I-
against me is overwhelming.
I also know that you've got other worms in the pile here. Worms in a wood pile? I don't even know where I'm going with it. Worms in a wood pile there. So call one of your goons, tell them what you need, and pull the Tyler guys off our ship, and we're gonna be out of here.
I do have some still. I still have some influence
Friends,
over
yeah,
some of my people. Perhaps I can aid you in this. I cannot guarantee anything, but if you were to promise me that you would take me with you, I would exercise every single effort on your behalf.
All right,
I
I'm
tell you.
gonna Mehmet Tim, and I don't want to make a deal with this guy, but I think this is our best chance to get off this place, and he has information.
I agree. It is the best chance.
Pipe down there, Smitchy. And yeah, I think the only way we can torture him is keep bastardizing his name.
Weber is correct.
Yes.
He has come up with a plan that will get you off this station with me with you. And we
But,
will be victorious in the end.
You know,
You have no idea what Malagrange will do to your name. He will butcher it in so many ways. You will be praying for death.
Mallory Graves, I know not this name, but I assume that he is with you and will understand what we have done here today. Understand and appreciate.
All right. Well, it's time for you to get your go bag because it's time to go.
Yeah, Mr. Hoochie Coochie, it's time to go.
Oh,
Are
sorry.
you carrying any what weapons?
I'm only carrying a few weapons. One of them, my primary weapon, would be in what we used to call my prison wallet. But other than that, I will grab it and we will go. I have some weapons. They are inert, frankly. The Tyler, my former employers have rendered my body pistols inert.
Yeah, but
Except
you've been playing both sides for a while, so you have a go bag somewhere in this hoity-toity place.
Oh,
So have your go
you're one to
Go.
talk about both sides, Weber chicks. I've seen your background.
And you know
I've
that
seen
I
your
always look out
record.
for my friends, Keith. Always. Do you want to be my friend?
Oh, the
Time is wasting.
long line of deceased
God.
friends that you declare for.
What? One deceased friend.
Oh, you're dead.
You know, Tam, Jix, this guy talks a lot. I'm getting a headache. Look, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Like,
I'm
I
really
have
nervous.
ibuprofen for you.
How about we? It's already 10 minutes past the hour.
Oh, is it?
I know you were in your element chewing the scenery.
I am in my
Shakespearean
Angry Badger.
trained.
Yeah. If only I could expose.
Next time we will decide whether you will take Keith Smitchy with you, or well, you will shoot
parts of him.
as he stands.
very good.
Very good.
Thank you.
To be continued.
All right, we'll stop here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good game.
All right, guys. All right. Thank you guys. This is awesome. I love this game. Thank you again, Andrew, for everything. And those of you who want to hang on, I'm gonna grab a whiz and I'm gonna make a drink,
All right.
and we'll be back. If you guys want
Whiz and a
to
whiz
talk
drink.
about what might take place,
I must.
I gotta
Keith
get-
Smitchy surrenders to.
Peace out, guys.
All right, good
All right,
night.
good night, guys.
Good night. Take care.